What is up, everybody? Welcome to the After Chat. Thank you for joining us on the Ham Radio Crash Course. Chris, feel free to join us on the Discord. And we still look at the chat room. There's a live stream chat room for the After Chat that we pull from before YouTube. So it's in hierarchy order. We go from the voice chat to the text chat on Discord, then to YouTubers and all the other social medias that we are streaming to. How's it going, everybody? Hopefully you had fun playing some JS8 Call. Do really love that mode. I am so happy to hear that we got an update, and it's a really good one. Really meaty. I crammed a lot of stuff in there. So we love to see it. Wish them the best, but even if there isn't a lot of updates after this point, that's still a huge update. Tons and tons of stuff added to that. It's just awesome. So I'm very excited about that. So thankful. So hopefully my audio's okay. I got a couple of people that said the mic was a bit clippy. I don't know what happened, but my mixer got screwed up. But hopefully I should be in the slot. You guys tell me in the chat if I'm okay. Should have asked earlier, but yeah. Anyway, how y'all doing? I hope you had a great field day. If you have field day questions, by the way, like after the fact, and you're like, I don't understand, we couldn't make contacts, or we couldn't do this, that, or the other. Hey, join us in the After Chat. It's literally your time to get your questions, particularly newcomers, because we have questions. We take their questions first. That's the priority. It doesn't have to be based on the show topic. It can be about anything radio related. I don't always make a shout out about what I'm drinking, but I got my hands on a rare piece of liquid refreshment, Mountain Dew Hard. And yeah, buddy, we're going straight to the Taco Bell exclusive Baja Blast. Let's put that right there. There you go. Helping make all my contacts extra blasty. So, right on. Oh yeah, dude, this is you had to be at a special place at a special time to get yourself a rig expert USB stick keychain. All of I think it's 15 gigs or something like that. But yeah, right on. No, they're not that strong if you're talking about the Baja Blast. But all right, let's say hi to our Discord friends and get into that. If you join us on the Discord, go to #live-stream, and then right below that, click on that first, and then below that is #live-stream/afterchat. That's the voice chat. All right. So I'm going to go to the text chat first, get that logged in here, so I can show you guys while I'm doing this, so you'll see the action. I don't know why I'm getting all these spam ads now. Like, how many Nitro posts until they stop spamming me for everything? But so right here, live-stream, and if I click on live-stream after chat, you're going to hear some voices.
Whoosh.
That was perfectly timed.
Josh.
How did you do that? That's crazy. The timing on that was insane, Jody. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but that was crazy timing, dude. Well, that's wild. Yeah, how's it going, everybody?
Hey, Josh.
So I got a hey, Josh. Go ahead, hey, Josh.
Should I get the Yaesu? Not Yaesu.
I lost you.
User's going to ask about the Zygu 160, I believe.
106.
The Zygu G106.
If it's in your budget and it's got the modes that you want to do, I think so. I like the digital interface on that radio. In fact, I have one. I bought one. I've given one away, and they're pretty good radios. I've they made a couple updates to them, and they've improved a lot since the first days of them. I know Kate MRD and I had our own troubles with them, but they've improved upon them, I think, considerably. And I'm very shiny right now, so let me de-shine myself. Wow. Oh yeah. It's summer in Cali. Everybody.
You didn't go to hair and makeup before
I
you
didn't.
started
Yeah,
the
no. I let them have the weekend off for 4th of July and all that. So just I'm on my own. I know. I'm very magnanimous as a boss. It is true. It's very true. Yeah.
Could I make a contact to Scotland with one?
Ooh, buddy, that's... You know what? I wanna see. Can you tell me what state you live in?
Alabama.
Okay, so we're gonna go to VoaCap. We're gonna go to VoaCap HF. Doot, doot, doot. Oh, is that what I meant? Yeah, that's what I meant. Where's my VoaCap? Is this it? Did something change? Wait, where's the link? Used to be able to just go... What happened here? Everybody know what I'm talking about, right? Am I doing this wrong?
Absolutely.
Where's the link for the HF?
I just use ham clocks, so I don't really remember.
No, there was a website you could go to. What happened to my website?
Oh, yeah. There is.
No, that's not what I want. Nope. Gray line? Is that going to be it? Can I get it that way? No, that's not it.
Hold on, Josh. In the live stream chat,
Yeah, what happened?
Ed and I both dropped the link to it.
Okay, got it. I think I got it. Oh, there we go. Okay, great. So you said Alabama, and we're going to try to get to Scotland. So let's do. Am I pretty close? Let's see. We'll dive enhance until we get there.
With
Close,
a dipole.
close enough. Oh, with it. Well, okay. I'm glad you're clarifying. How high up is that dipole?
Maybe like a few feet up.
Oh, we need more than a few feet. You got to bump up those numbers.
Yeah.
Are you going to do single sideband, or are you going to do...
Single sideband on 10 meters.
Okay, good clarification. Single sideband. How much power is it going to be? The 105, the Shagu.
5 watts.
5 watts. All right, antenna. We are going to be on 10 meters on a dipole. Can I lower that? I'm gonna put you, boy. I'm gonna kind of put a homework assignment on you to get it at 15. No, 50 feet's too high. Can you get it at 33 feet, maybe? Let's start with 17 feet and see how it goes.
I could do 15, maybe like 10 feet. I could do at most.
Okay. Let's do propagation charts. Let's see when 10 meters would happen. Doesn't look good.
By the way, I don't have the stuff yet. I'm planning on getting it for my birthday.
It doesn't look good. I gotta tell you, it doesn't look good. Single sideband's gonna be really difficult.
15 might work.
15? No. So basically what this is doing is, and even that's like way too high. Like that's nuts. Like that's not even doable by most people. This is crazy.
What about Wisconsin?
It's not it's not your, it's really the power output, I think. Let's go back to the prop charts here. Oof.
Well, and the height of the antenna off the ground.
Height of the antenna is a big thing. Yeah. No, it doesn't look good.
I don't have any tall trees in our yard. Our big tree was chopped down.
It will be difficult for you to make that contact. But so here's the thing, right? This website is trying to show just averages, like over time, like how things have worked and performed in the past. It doesn't mean that there isn't different windows of opportunity that happen, but it will not be consistent. Let me see if we can swap this to FT8 and see if that gets us any better.
Did they specifically?
Yeah, FT8 will be a lot better for you, particularly. 20 meters will be very good. 30 meters is good. 40 meters is okay in the evening. But during the day, you're probably going to get the best bang for your buck out of 20 meters and 17 meters for a dipole.
I'm only getting a 10-meter only dipole, though.
Yeah. So 10 meters will be tough. You'll have to... I also have a feeling that 10 meters is being underreported here on this website. I don't think it's providing enough information on how good 10 meters has been in recent times. So is there a reason Scotland is the particular country you're dove in on to be making a contact with?
Family heritage.
I see. Okay. What if
What about a vertical, Josh?
Well, he's getting the dipole though, is kind of what he's saying. A vertical antenna might be better. We can model it with a vertical, and then you might just be able to build one. So let's
like
try
a
it.
photo performer kind of thing, maybe.
Well, let's see if we've got options for that.
I wonder. I have a
Or a lip.
question. What do you think about Wisconsin now?
No, Wisconsin's
These
not going to...
guys-
Oh, like a contact to Wisconsin?
To or from?
Two.
Oh, that's a totally different animal. So, yeah, you actually do better with a 17 let's see, 7-meter whip antenna. You'll actually do better to get to Scotland. You'll have better odds. So let's see if we can switch this over to single sideband and what it does. Yeah.
I only can get the J with the dipole though, because unfortunately we can't afford one of those big. We can't really get like a. My parents won't allow a big, antenna in the yard.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see that. Yeah, you should be able to do single sideband to, well, 10 meters though is going to be difficult. The problem with 10 meters is it's kind of long. Like it can be a very long band, but on a dipole, and if you, consistency is key, right? And so if it was the same contact you tried to make inside and out every day of the week long to be able to do that, it's like that's going to be more difficult for you. The same person. But if it's like any kind of contact, you'll be able to talk all over the place with it. But, just keep that in mind.
What about Florida?
Yeah, you should be able to do Florida as well. I'll drop the link, and then you can go try this out. It's a fun little map that you can use. In fact, it already got dropped earlier, but go check that out, okay? All right, cool. All right, well, that's an example of what we do out here. We go to first-timers first for questions, and then we open it up for more commentary, and I've got a show topic. You can obviously probably tell from the title of this video, but if there's anybody here for the first time, either on the Discord, we start with Discord voice, so let's go with that. If you're here for the first time...
Actually, I've been here another time.
I know, I remember you, but I'm talking to other folks now. So hold on, hang tight. So is there anybody else out here for the first time who'd like to say hi or ask a question? Come now. Oh, somebody. Is that somebody keying up?
I'm here.
Hey, it looks like KJ5LUB. Is that first timer? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, it's my first time. I passed like I think it was 2 Saturdays ago. I think it was the 26th of June.
Congratulations. That's very good. Great to hear that. So what's going on? You got a question for us? Or you just saying hi?
I'm saying a big hi. I don't really have a bunch of questions. I have a very supportive ham group over here, and I've got a nice 10-meter dipole for myself, and I'm making contacts to Virginia, Pennsylvania, and I believe somewhere else, maybe Alabama as well. But I have a very supportive ham group, so for the first introduction, I've been very successful, and I have had a bunch of hand-me-downs from my stepfather who wanted to be a ham but never got into it. But I did attend field day, and I made over 50 contacts on that. So I got a big introduction to HF on the big meters. So yeah, I'm just jumping in here and saying hi for the first time. And Redstone Fred, you sound young, and I'm personally, as a 15-year-old myself, I'm very glad that you're interested in this, because it's very rare you find kids. I'd say kids. I'm assuming you're younger than me, but it's very rare you find kids actually interested as much as you sound. I know
I'm
it's a big thing over
17.
here. You're how old?
17.
Oh,
Turning
yeah, that's
18 in September.
okay. Well, I guess I'm younger than you, so yeah, I just jumped in here saying hi, and I don't know. I just saw the live, and I thought I'd come on in here and introduce myself.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Very good. All right. Is there anybody else in here who'd like to say hi or ask a question? First timers first, please.
N7TJG.
All right, TJG, go ahead.
Hey, yeah, first time on the, well, I've hung out in the Discord a couple times and never really talked. Actually, a couple months ago, I was like one of your final email segment guys.
Oh, right
got
on.
a really quick, yeah, I was the Coast Guard guy that was complaining that you called the boats the wrong thing.
Yes, I do
that was
that.
me.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah,
I hope I didn't offend you. That's definitely my
No,
ignorance more than
I
anything.
thought it was in jest. I was like, oh, I'm going to catch so much heat
Our
about this from the
boats!
Flag and Torch guys.
Don't
Yeah,
mess with
yeah,
our
right.
boats.
Exactly. Real, yeah. So real simple question, actually. So I saw you guys were doing JS8, and I finally got my JS8 up and running.
Nice.
For field day last week. I've been trying FT8 forever.
Okay.
How do you do a proper QSO on FT8? Because I've tried, I'm an observer. I observe something, try to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been trying to figure out, how does a proper QSO on FT8 work? What's like the actual steps you take to make a proper QSO on FT8? Because I can't figure it out on my own. Really?
Okay. So it's really straightforward. So in fact, I'm kind of inclined to just hop over there and show you what it looks like really fast, because it's easier than JS8. So if you've got JS8 somewhat dialed in, then FT8's a breeze. You're probably overthinking it more than anything. So I just completed sending my message to Mike. So I'm actually going to close this, and we'll bring up WSJTX. Oh. One of them, I lost. I installed the newest, latest, greatest, and apparently it's gone. Where the hell is it? Is this it? What? Hold on. Do I have to reinstall everything? Oh, I might have to. I did a fresh install, and apparently I knocked out something special and important, so it's very upset at me. But if you're do you hear things, first of all, in the left-hand window on WSJTX?
Oh yeah, I see everything. I'm just trying to figure out, not really how the program works, but how does an actual QSO work? Like, what's not the nomenclature? What's the I guess the culture of it? Like, what's the expectation? Like, I'm going to send them my signal report, and then the grid square, and then they send it back to me, and then you send 73. Like, I'm just trying to figure out how that all works.
It's all automatic. That's the best part about it, is you really don't have to do much. So I'm gonna bring this up. Let me grab all this stuff real fast. I should have it. Hold on.
Nothing like doing it live, right?
Oh, do you know how many times I've done this live, man? God, okay. So I am I'm gonna be FT8ing now. So let's scroll over. Oh, is that it for the waterfall? The waterfall is done so it's something like that. So hopefully we should see this list start populating here. Maybe. Oh, the radio's not in the right spot. Hold on. There we go. Give it a second. It's gotta macerate in all this. Or not. Which version are we on now? Am I on the wrong version?
We call it amateur radio for a reason, not professional radio.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so do you see how my screen's starting to populate? And I apologize, the fonts are pretty small. See how that one guy is green and he says CQ something? I'm going to double click on him.
Yeah.
So while that's going on, I'm going to embiggen all of this, because apparently I'm all whacked out with my I forget how to do this. Yeah, so he's replying. So I just double clicked on his name. And what I did to do that was on the general tab of settings, I have the checkbox checked that says double click on call sets TX enable. So that's the big thing.
Okay, yeah, I definitely don't have that set.
That's an important one. You want to make sure to do that. Will this make the font bigger? It did make the font bigger. Oh, too big. Way too big. Oh my god. Oh my god, what have I done? It's going to spaz out for a second. But the things you want to make sure you do is check the hold frequency button, and you want to check the auto sequence or auto SEQ button, or the checkbox for that. And that should allow you to double-click on any of the call signs or things above to be able to call out. The radio is going to do all the work for you. You don't have to do anything as long as they're ready. So the CQ stations, all that stuff, like you just double-click on anybody calling CQ and you will work them. If you wanted to call CQ yourself, then you would just turn that on to be able to do CQ calls. So to do that, you basically just check the box down here on the lower right-hand side, the little radio button that says CQ KI6NAZ. It'll be your call sign, and then you hit enable. So if you hit that, which is what I do a lot, it'll start calling CQ while I figure out how to improve this font.
This wouldn't be a problem on a Mac.
Well, no, I screwed with the files. I updated all the stuff there, so that's probably why. Yeah, there we go. That's better. So I'm calling CQ a couple of times. And so when it's CQ, hands up, no hands on keyboard. It'll just do all this for me. I don't really have to do anything. And in fact, I didn't check where I'm transmitting from. I should probably do that. The other thing to keep in mind, and why don't we do that since I'm not getting any contacts. So the waterfall next to me, you can see it's like there's lots of traffic, and I haven't kind of located myself on where I want to transmit on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait a couple of seconds, probably like a minute or so, to look and see where there's like straight lines. If there's an open straight line with no activity, then you want to post up in there. And in fact, I'm seeing one. It's right about right here on 2100 hertz is where I'm going to land. And look at that. While I was talking, K2ERK came back to me. So I'm just going to double-click on him. And immediately it populates that whole right side window, and it starts working through the contact, the rest of the QSO, which in this case it's saying, oh, you're -14 to me. He's going to reply with what he heard me at, and then I'll say RR73, which is the truncated version. Most adjusted settings are going to say triple R, like RRR, and then they'll come back to 7.3, and then you'll say 7.3 back to them, which is a wasted cycle. So what you do is you double-click on the TX4 button, and it should auto switch it to RR73. Don't know why that's not standard. Is that standard now? That's the old in me. BB2 Cat Girl is replying to me right now. We got Uwu Cat Girl in the chat. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for talking about the Uwu stuff.
Well, Josh, not to let the cat out of the bag, but Cat Girl's in live audio with us right now.
Oh, it is? Oh my God, that's hilarious. Okay. Did Mike? Did you go off and Google Uwu?
Frank texted me.
Okay. So does that answer the question about WSJTX? Am I getting you close to how to make a contact there?
Yeah, so it seems like what I'm trying to do is manually do everything, because I thought that's the way you're supposed to do things. So it just seems like it's a lot more hands-off than what I'm thinking. So it's simpler than what I'm thinking.
Yeah, don't manually do anything. In fact, trying to do it manually is going to take too damn long. Just
it's been driving me nuts.
Hit the auto, hit the auto sequence button and just Calgon, take me away. Like, let it go.
It's like it's a Ron Popeil, like set it and forget it.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
You still
Ron
gotta get
Popeil.
your ADIFs from WSJTX to your logging software.
That's a whole different ball of wax, which that's a great question. Most loggers will connect to WSJTX for auto logging to it.
And
I
don't
don't do
forget
that,
syncing
though.
to internet time.
Oh yeah, I double check that because I do the S2 underground their stuff, so I keep everything synced for that kind
Oh,
of
perfect.
for their JSA call stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, very well. WSJTX is much simpler than JSA call. So if you've got JSA call working, this is a breeze.
Comment.
I GPS time sync. I don't know what you're talking about, Penguin, but yeah, go ahead, comment.
You can type in a call sign if you see that somebody is hearing you on the reverse beacon network.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to make a contact, let's say to France from Oklahoma.
I wasn't going into advanced contact stuff, but yes, you can absolutely do that.
And it's the stuff that's on the left side of his screen, underneath or right above the distance and that kind of stuff. If you want to manually do it, then great. I have done it, but that's not fun at all. For FT8, it's a lot simpler than that.
Yes, indeed. So let's see if JSA call opens back up. Go ahead.
I notice a lot of the Europeans do that when I have it loaded up, and because I'm on the East Coast, so I'm pretty easy to get for people. Like if I make 1 or 2 POTA contacts, I get spammed with Russians, Ukrainians, Polish, all of the Europeans basically trying to call me right after that happens.
Interesting. Okay. Wow, we really opened. No, this is still on FT8. That's why I was like, wow, we really opened up to FT8. Nope, it's going to be slower than that. Right on. Well, I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, Redstone. Hold on, you were here last week, so we go to first timers first. All right. So who in the chat is here for the first time? They'd like to say hi or ask a question. Come now.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, Alex, go ahead.
So I've sorry my voice is a little raspy, getting over a cold, but first time here. In fact, I just downloaded Discord on my phone yesterday and just caught the live stream. So I don't know about a question per se, other than I am trying to set up a APRS digipeater. I live in Waco, Texas, and we're kind of a dead spot for APRS, and it's a mode I'd really like to get into. I've been licensed for 20 years, but I've just now in the last 6 months starting to get back into ham radio. I'm a scout leader, so I do the ham radio or the radio merit badge. So I'm trying to get more into radio so I can teach it more. Starting to get involved with our local group. I know APRS has been a big, not a big thing. It's been around for forever. But, as someone in a community where APRS is pretty much non-existent, I guess my question is how or what suggestions would you have to try to get it more active in my area?
So, I mean, tell me about your area. There's zero APRS going on? What is there?
So if you go to APRS Phi and look up Waco, Texas, there's nothing. There's no digipeters, no iGates. When I turn to, and I forgot the frequency is offhand right now. If you turn to the frequency, I've got a little TID radio, TDH8 that I use. When I go to it, I can literally set it on that frequency for an hour and not hear a single blip or very few blips, which are mainly people driving up and down I-35.
Where is Waco? West side of Texas or east side?
It's central Texas. It's right between Dallas and Austin. We're about an hour and a half south of Dallas and about an hour and a half north of Austin on I-35.
The home of the mighty Baylor Bears.
Oh my God! I crashed this thing
that
out.
is us, yes.
So there's not a shortage of APRS in Texas. You can see my website's lagging
Dallas or
out.
Austin, it's all over the place. But here in Waco, and I remember, again, I got licensed in 2005 and started getting active locally, and even back then, APRS was huge. You turned to the broadcast frequency for it, and you just heard just constant blips. But now it's virtually nothing, and like I said, it's a mode I'd really like to get into, especially since I do a lot of hiking, do a lot of camping, trying to get scouts involved with amateur radio, through the merit badge, and I want to try to give them modes that they can really jump into, because a lot of these kids are really shy to talk on the radio. So if I can get them some sort of digital mode that they can find value in, that'd be great. But right now, I just don't see a lot of APRS here. And so,
we're getting some echo. So, okay, I think I understand the question. So go ahead, Gray Man.
Yeah, I was just thinking, as a former scout leader myself and one who taught the radio merit badge, if you want to get them involved, I would probably look at Meshtastic. No licensing required, and they can use their phones, and they'll love that.
You should look into that, but his question is getting a digipeater going. So before we exhaust that, let's make.
I guess it was multifaceted. So we did do summer camp last month, and we got some of the scouts to get their the GMRS licenses. And I already have my license. Our other two leaders got their licenses. Of course, our kids can use the license, not him, but it's no tests, and it got a radio in some hands. And I have looked at Meshtastic. I just haven't looked at it hugely. But I figured APRS, folding it into sharing radios or sharing amateur radio with scouts and other leaders, and then as a personal project too. So this weekend, my wife and kids are actually out of town, the first time in 20 years. So I kind of took it upon myself to try to stand up a direwolf. In fact, I ordered the cable. The cable should be in tomorrow. So I'm going to try to get it set up tomorrow and see if I can actually get something going here as a proof of concept. And if it does, I'll put a bigger radio, I'll get a better machine, and try to get something stood up. But if I'm the only one using it, other than the few passersby on I-35, I'm just trying to, I don't know. And maybe it's an open-ended question. There's not really an answer.
Well,
just trying to.
There's lots of answers, right? So you exploring creating your own digipeater is, of course, like, yes, do that. Just know that you're approaching this with like a 5-watt radio, and you likely will need a pretty serious amount of elevation to be effective, right? And I know lots of parts of Texas, and a lot of it's pretty flat, so getting high up off of ground is not difficult, but it's something you have to consider, right? Because there's not a lot of options, and then you have to factor in line loss when it comes to 2 meters and all that stuff. But let's keep it simple for right now. So yeah, there's a ton of VHF radios that you can tap into for audio and speaker, for mic and speaker, for pulling that into something like Direwolf and running that way. Your problem is that really a long-term solution like a proper digipeater, which is a repeater mounted at an appropriate tall location, is going to be the way that you encourage people to get on APRS, right? Is there a ham club in your area that may have a repeater that you might be able to talk to about that kind of stuff?
Yeah, actually, I'm involved with them. A couple of the local amateur radio, the guys in the group are leaders on our scout troop. So I've been talking to them. They're not really huge APRS users, but
sure.
And the thing I'm setting up is really a proof of concept. It's really just to see, can I make it work? If I can make it work, I'll get a better machine, I'll get a better radio. Yes, I can put a 20 to 30 foot tower in the backyard without any issue, as long as my wife doesn't object. So I have the means to expand it, or to probably find another place to put it. Even at the church up the road where we meet, they're pretty open for us. Like, I put a weather station up there. They're pretty open to us putting stuff up and using some of their resources.
So do they have a repeater?
Yes, the club does have, or they run several repeaters here locally.
And where are they? Yeah, I'm getting to a point of how high up is the antenna for that repeater, and where's it all located? Is it in a prominent location?
I mean, I couldn't tell you specifically, but yeah, they reach the count. I mean, they're countywide repeaters. I mean, they use them for emergency services. I mean, they are very widespread reappeaters.
So where I'm going,
for you
yeah, hold on. Jeez, let me get my thought across here. The where I'm trying to go with this is, even if you're able to experiment and create your own digipeater, if you don't have your antenna very high up, you're not going to be servicing a lot of people. And if you don't have like a 50 watt at least transmitter behind it, then you're also not going to get out very far. So I think your experimentation is sound. Like, yes, you should experiment. And yes, there's a lot of cheap options you can go with a digipeater, because in your area, if it's true that there's not a lot of activity, you can probably get away with an Alinco, what is it, DR135 or something along those lines, like a monoband VHF radio. You can use that to do digipeater things. You attach a Raspberry Pi or some kind of small computer that you can remote into, and that can function as both your iGate and your digipeater. But like, to be actually functional and to get to the point where I think you're trying to go, which is to like get more people to use it, or at least make it an environment where it will be successful, you will need to work with somebody like your local club that already has a repeater situation that you might be able to like park your radio in, potentially get a secondary antenna, maybe not at the same prominence as their primary repeater antenna, just to keep them offset a little bit for desensing any of the radios. All that stuff, though, is like, so experiment, yes, do that, but then start to talk with the club and be like, hey, I kind of want to put up a digipeater. Let's do it in a way where I won't be messing around with any of the stuff you've got set up. Does that make sense?
It totally does, yes. And that's kind of, and I guess I hadn't thought about it in the context that you gave. You phrased it perfectly.
Okay.
That's kind of what I was, the route I was hoping to go, is getting someone else involved. Right now, it's just really trying the tech, just seeing if I can build it, seeing if I can make it work, even just within my neighborhood range, if nothing else, because the little TDH8, I think it's 10 watts, so I know it's not going to go out too far. But and if I can get it working, proof of concept, then I can talk to some of the guys with the group and just say, hey, what are the next steps? And try to get this more county round, or try to get it in a few spots so we've got more coverage. Because I don't know which came first, because it used to be big in our area. Did it fade out because the digipeaters went away, or did it fade out because people lost interest? So I'm hoping kind of if I build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Get a couple of these stood up, maybe more people will jump into it.
I have a feeling that the reason it goes away is because the digipeaters stop actually being able to digipede. I think that's usually a primary reason. If you're going down this pathway, I would, if you need a stable computing source, or you're already on Linux, so it sounds like you're using Direwolf. So good. That is where I would recommend is don't do this on Windows, that's crazy. Use Linux. And if you can get a small little Nook type device that just, small little baby computer that you can set it up and run on, that's going to be way better in the long run, because you can just pick that thing up and put it over in another spot and run with it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right now I'm just using a little Intel-based Mac Mini that I had sitting in my closet, and put a fresh copy of Linux on it yesterday. And
there you go.
The other project I'm working on is setting up an old school dial-up BBS. So this is on the same box. So I'm trying to find a way to merge those two together, because there's a few ham radio-based bulletin board systems out there. Yes, I'm old school.
No, I like it. I like it. Do you have an Alinco DR135 yet?
I'm not even sure what that is.
Go look that up. This is right in your wheelhouse. Both those that radio will serve both purposes perfectly.
Or you FT.
I'm on my phone. I'm not in a place I can take notes. Can you just type that in chat or put it somewhere where I can, if somebody's around, they can just type it out real quick?
Yeah, somebody dropped the link to a DR135, the 2-meter monobander from Alinco. I don't know about the FTM 6000 enough, but the DR135 is the one I would recommend, because it's the easiest to mess with.
The Linkos aren't sold anymore, right?
I know.
Find it used.
I know.
You have to find it used.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere. You should be able to get one.
The FT.
It was tough for me, but.
When did they stop selling?
While we're waiting on that,
I recently got a new one.
Oh my gosh! Everybody is talking over each other. It's crazy. I know everybody's very passionate about this topic, because we still got to go back to the comments. Don't worry. Frank, go ahead.
Okay.
Jeez.
So, Alex, there is an iGate just south of Waco. Look up Whiskey 5 Zulu Delta Whiskey. I'll drop it in chat. But there is an iGate there. It's part of HOT ARC. It's 320 feet antenna height above ground, 25 watt. Omni. So I'll drop a link to that. But
Yeah, that's actually our local, our Heart of Texas Amateur Radio Club. That's one of our
Okay.
2 clubs here in town. So I didn't remember that being up. So that's good that they've got one.
Yeah, it's according to the map, it's down there by exit 321. So I'll drop that in the chat for you.
Perfect.
So
Yeah, that's down in Lorena. I know exactly where that's at.
I bet you the reason you're not hitting it is because you're using an HT, and you're probably using an HT antenna. If you've got an antenna outside, or you can put 50 watts behind it, you'll hit it, I bet.
Yeah, the one he's talking about, it's probably about 15 miles, 20 miles from me. I know exactly where that's at. Yeah, so I wouldn't probably be able to hit that from here with an HT.
No, that's probably your
And
problem.
it is current. It is current. It beaconed 6 minutes ago.
Oh, so it's live.
Oh yeah, it's live. It's just south of on your screen, Josh. I moved to a different window. It's just south of what you had visible.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's exit 321, that's going to be Lorena. So that's the town I grew up in. So I know that area really well.
Very
I
good.
just didn't realize there was one out there. So that's good to know that there's at least one south of town. I noticed, I know there's some WinLink and stuff out there in town, but I hadn't, at least last time I checked, I didn't see any APRS digipeters like within town or north of town. But I'll double check. Maybe I just missed them.
No, that's the only one in the area. And I zoomed out quite a bit. That's the only thing within the greater area there.
Yeah, because
20 miles each way.
Yeah, because I'll drive like through Dallas or down through Austin, and when I turn my HT to the and again, I forget what the frequency is, but you hear them constantly. But as soon as you start getting next to Waco, it fades out and you don't hear a single one.
144.390. All right, so another comment. Was it Gray Man? You're next.
Yeah, I was gonna say that that sounds like that's a iGate that's by you, and it's not going to transmit. Yeah, iGates are generally receive only.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't beacon. That makes sense.
Comment.
Go ahead, comment.
There's not one in Temple though. That's where Bucky's is on I-35.
Yeah, I was at that Bucky's just about a week ago.
Go ahead, comment.
You got K8MRD right here in your backyard. He's your APRS guru.
Yeah.
If you can't get local activity to start happening on APRS, you could always take the equipment that you built and turn it into a SAT gate and have it work for being an iGate / terminal station that you can use for contacting APRS on the space station.
Ah.
I hadn't thought of that. That would be fun.
Fun, but somewhat limited. But yes, Eric, that's a really good idea too. That's a fun project you can do with the Scouts for sure. So a lot of people are saying this doesn't digipete, so that's actually semi-good news. You hypothetically can just work with this club and convert their iGate situation into a digipeater. That might be the way to go.
I will do that. Yeah, like I said, I know several people who are involved with the group. I've attended their field day multiple times, so I'll do that. Thank you. I didn't think about that.
That might be your problem, is that they're just not digipeating. So they're listening and they're putting things out to APRS.FI, but when you're driving down the road with your mobile radio, you're getting no feedback that you've been iGated or digipeated for that matter. And that's why you're probably not getting out that far, a number of other things. But I got a question for you, Alex. So you mentioned that you are a ham radio merit badge counselor. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. Well, it's just radio, but yes.
Oh, gotcha, sure. So let me ask you, do you like... So, by the way, I'm going down the road of signing up for this. I took all my training, and the troop is literally emailing me once a week to get me going on that.
Thank you for doing it, because we need as many merit badge counselors as we can within Scouts. So thank you for that.
So what I said is like, hey, I already posted 2 videos over an hour each where I went through all the requirements and showed everybody how to like pass the requirements. But okay, that's neither here nor there. So are you holding like a talk where you talk to everybody about like what all this is and go through the requirements? Or is it truly like you're just the counselor and the Scouts are coming to you with the information they've learned from the handbook and you're testing them on knowledge? How does that work?
You can do either way. So like I'm teaching a music merit badge at a merit badge college in about 2 weeks, where I'm teaching the whole thing like a classroom style. Mm-hmm. I have some people that will contact me and they want to be me to be their merit badge counselor. They do it all themselves and just send me what they've done. Some stuff we have to discuss. If it says discuss, you have to talk to them about it. For radio, If I did now, when you do radio, there's a section where you do either like shortwave radio or you can do amateur radio. There's a do one.
And then
of
there's
three
also
things.
like broadcast radio is the other one too.
And broadcast radio, yes. So I try to do it from the amateur radio standpoint. I don't have a lot. I mean, I'm just a tech. I just have a tech license. I don't have a lot of gear. We've got a couple of the guys in our group who are amateur extra. They got all the gear. They love bringing their stuff out. So normally to camp out, they'll bring out all their gear, set up the antennas. They'll do that technical part. Where the scouts can get on the air, they can kind of set up a GOTA station, and they can check that box, and then I'll teach the other stuff. Teaching them the way the frequencies work, the way radios work, and stuff like that. So I'll do more of and also I'm the merit badge counselor, so none of the other guys are technically merit badge counselors, even though they can teach it. Mm-hmm. But I'm there, and so I can check it off for them. So we try to do it at like a camp out, or we'll host a session and just invite anybody who wants to come take part. We get with our district office and say, hey, share this with all the troops. They'll put it in the newsletter. They'll get it out to Scoutmasters, and then we see who shows up.
Okay. I have do you have any material slides or whatever you roll through? Would you be able to send that to me?
I've got some stuff I wrote up for last time I taught it.
I would love to, reference it. I'll modify it, of course, and do my own thing. But I'd love that.
Drive. So if you can send me like I said, I'm brand new to.
Oh, perfect. I'm literally.
If you can send me a DM or something, then with your contact info, I can share it with you.
You can just drop the link right in the DM I sent you, and I'll check it out that way. I just sent you a DM. You'll see it on the left-hand side of the screen.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, like I said, I'm on my phone, and I'm still learning this thing, so I'll find it and I'll send it to you. Thank you.
Excellent. As a shout out too, it turns out that while the DR135 has been retired, the DR138 is available $200. It is a 60-watt VHF 200-channel transmitter, and this is exactly what will get you going. I think for doing packet pretty much of any kind. So this is going to work for both packet radio and for APRS. At least I think so.
Check it out. Thank you very much.
You may have to build a serial cable, like a DB9 serial cable, but that's pretty easy. That's like one Amazon kit and a couple of solder connections, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I could do that. That's not a hard thing to do. So cool. Thank you for sharing that.
If you really get into the packet world, I highly recommend the Cantronics KP3. I think it's the KP3 Plus, the one that has USB connection. That is a fantastic TNC. Still one of my favorites. It does everything you possibly want to do. And you can run a BBS off of it. So you can have a mailing system, all that stuff. Great device.
That's it. I'm actually driving up to New York to pick my daughter up from a camp, and I'm stopping in Nashville next week to visit with an old friend of mine who's a ham radio operator. He runs a packet radio from his house, packet radio system, and he's going to show it to me. I've never used one before, but we're both old BBS nerds from back in the day, so I'm anxious to see it, and I might try to get something here going if he can give me a hand setting one up. So that would be great addition, getting something like that.
Yeah, in fact, I'm
check out.
I need to get back into it. Sorry, Eric, go ahead. I'm good.
Check out repeaterbuilder.com. It's repeater-builder.com. They have a RIM Alinco interface made specifically for the Alinco radios. That's what I used on my WinLink node.
I bought that, and I don't think I ever built it.
Oh, mine came fully assembled.
Yeah, I think
mine.
I think I bought it, but I don't know why I didn't use it. There was some reason for it, but anyway. Yeah, no, I hear you. They make good stuff too. Oh my gosh, but it's also a very Web 1.0 website here to be able to get anything going on it. Jesus.
Or you can just use a DigiRig as well.
DigiRig works too. I like using TNCs.
They have cables at least for the 135.
Yeah, I like using TNCs a lot for APRS and for packet specifically, but they work great for APRS too, because then you technically don't need Direwolf. You just need something like Yak, yet another APRS client that works fantastically. So I don't know. I'm hardware minded somewhat when it comes to stuff like that, and the less amount of software that can fail just because it's running in the background is better, because the TNC just does TNC things, and you just use the console to connect, etc., that kind of stuff. All right.
Cool. Well, thanks for all the great information. This has been fun. I just happened to run across the live stream earlier and sat in and caught the last hour of it, and then jumped on here when y'all moved over here. So I appreciate all the info.
Thank you very much. And yeah, I appreciate the feedback and comment. Somebody said comment, or they got a thought they want to add. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I saw this one guy. He set up a I forgot the name, whatever the repeater is for APRS. Anyways, he made a go bag out of it with a mobile, I don't remember which radio it was. He used a digi-rig, and he was able to use a Pi 0 for the computer instead of using like a Pi 4 because the Pi 0 saved a lot of space. He was trying to make like a really small go bag. So if you got like a go bag and did that and brought it to like a summer camp, I think that would definitely get the scouts involved or at least interested into it.
I love that
Good
idea.
idea. Yeah, I like that. I mean, I was also looking at doing something like that, like a portable GMRS repeater also. So I could see putting a couple of things like that into a go bag. So great idea.
Yeah.
There's a project called DigiPi out there that's pretty much just drop it on an SD card and stick it in a Raspberry Pi, and you connect to a radio and you're good to go.
Yeah, but that's a digital interface. It's not the same thing as a TNC. So remember, TNC,
but it's a it's an APRS in a box kind of thing.
Yes, kinda. You have to run software though to make it all go. Yeah, go ahead, comment.
2 years ago, I taught the merit badge at Scout Camp and just happened to have a direction finding antenna, which is a part of the merit badge as well. And the ISS just happened to be flying over while we were DFing, and I had that on my B side of the handheld I was using. So keep that in mind as well. If you want to hook kids, the satellite just it was awesome.
That's slick. That's I like it. That's really good. Yeah, I got to break out the merit badge book and I guess go through the whole list of stuff. But yeah, it's not trivial. The radio merit badge is not a trivial merit badge. Coming from an accomplished scout myself, that was not one that I collected because I didn't know enough about it at the time. But yeah, go watch my live streams. I broke down all the requirements in 2 parts. It could not be done in an hour long, and it was me just hammering through stuff, and I couldn't do it. Go ahead, you had a follow-on.
Yeah, we took a 6-hour on a Friday to do it. So
yeah,
I think it was Friday. We just took a whole block before lunch, before lunch, and then 2 hours to DF after lunch.
Yeah, I think I'll have to work with the troop to figure out how the best way to do it, because I don't really I'd rather it be a part of a camp out, because then I'm already committed to be at the camp out. Otherwise, you're taking a whole nother full day of my time. But maybe I'll just record it and just with me and just talk through it, and I can post it. That might be fun. I might do it that way.
I believe 2 sittings might be helpful as well, not just one time sit. It's just hard to get it all done.
Oh yeah.
It's a hard one to get just in one sitting.
Yeah. Also, like I think at some point with the high technical stuff, just young people, when I was young, like I can't just sit down and be like, and I will now absorb all of this for 5 hours. Like that's just not. It's not really possible. I don't think I can do it now.
And if you pull out a radio and set up an antenna at a camp out, you're going to have about 3/4 of the kids there wanting to take part in it, and they're going to want to get involved when they see it.
Yeah, we did that. We've done Jamboree on the air multiple times with both the Cub Scouts. I haven't done it with the older Scouts yet because my son just joined. I think he just got tenderfoot, or he's like right there. But anyway.
Oh, congratulations! Yeah, we did Jamboree on the air the last 3 years, and we've done it at city parks. We've done it at scout camp outs when they happen to fall on the weekend of Jamboree on the air, and it's one of those things that's so abstract when you talk about radios and scouts nowadays. Like, I have a cell phone, why do I need to learn radios? But when you pull it out and they see it and they hear their friends talking to people from all over the place, they get in line. They want to do it, and once they do it, it's like, okay, you've done the hard part of the merit badge. Let's go ahead and finish it up.
Oh, so there's a slide deck and all kinds of stuff that you can get off of K2BSA. Well, thank you, K2BSA. I'll drop that link in the live stream. I think it probably showed up already, but I'll just duplicate the good work there. So excellent. I will. I'm going to have that on my list here. Going to go check that out. Well, thank you,
Quick
Alex.
comment.
Go ahead, Redstone.
I'm planning on testing for my general license soon.
Okay. Go ahead. What's the question? Oh, just a comment. Okay, good. Good luck.
First time comment when able.
Yeah, we're still doing first timers, so hang on, everybody. So first time, if you want to say hello or ask a question, go ahead. And I think it's the individual that said first timer. Go ahead.
All right. Good evening. This is actually KQ4PDG. Just got Discord working here. Thanks for responding on JS8 because I had just seen the the live stream, and I do JS8 a lot.
Nice.
I actually messed with it first before doing FT8 and all that, going to field day. Been a ham for over a year, just saying hi and enjoyed the stream and listen to everybody talk about things. So,
yeah, thank you. I appreciate you joining us.
You KQ4PDG.
So tank sniper. Does that mean you're a recoilless rifle enthusiast? Is that what I take away from that? What is tank sniper? How does that? Do you play World of Tanks, or you actually go out there and blow up tanks?
Oh yeah, I actually did play a lot of World of Tanks when I was younger, so that's where that's from. Correct.
Right on. Very cool. All right. Still in the first timer space. So anybody here for the first time that like to say hi or ask a question, go ahead.
I have a quick question.
Redstone, you were here last week. Redstone, you were here last week. We got to give preference to the people who were here first, remember? So first timers, if you've never been here before and you'd like to say hi or ask a question, come now, please.
Ooh-woo?
We got an ooh-woo. Are you a first timer for the ooh-woo?
Indeed I am.
How's it going? Is it Emma? Go ahead.
Yes.
How you doing?
I do get a question, actually. For radios in a vertical, is there any benefit to using a coiled vertical, or just throwing the tuner at it and going and not bothering with adjusting your coil?
Oh, boy. It's almost like you should save this for the ham myth segment that we haven't got to yet. This is such a good comment and question. So behind me, in fact, I'm going to grab it. Hold on. Okay, so are you talking about like a telescoping whip, like kind of like
yeah, just like
guys?
taking a whip, like like Wolf River coils kind of thing, versus just using a standard whip and tuning it up with like a G90.
Okay. So, what you got to do with these? You got to fully extend them to the resonant spot of the frequency you're on. So if it's a 17-foot whip, you're basically going to extend it all the way out. And if you're on 20 meters, right, you're going to extend it all the way out. And then you're going to use the G90's antenna analyzer to show where that dip is at. You want to see that salad bowl effect. That salad bowl is showing you where the lowest resistance is, right, in ohms. It's the SWR is what you're really seeing, the match. But it's really showing you resistance at 50 ohms. And then you're physically going to adjust it lower or extend it to get the best match possible for your radio. You want to physically adjust these. You do not want to use the tuner. Okay? Does that make sense? Now,
yeah, it does.
Now you'd add a coil to the base. Like if you took the 17-footer and you added a little coil on the base, that coil is probably in feet the same amount of length of wire you would need to be resonant on 40 meters. And then you'd simply just adjust the whip length by shortening it, if it's fully extended, to be resonant on 40 meters. So that's what you always do. You always want to do that with the vertical whips. You want to make sure that you're tuning them for resonance and SWR, but most people have the capacity to do SWR first.
Okay, so use a tuner where needed, but try to get as most out of just the whip itself with resonant, and then if you can't get a long enough one, go with the coil, then tune it up.
Yeah, so what I always tell people is if you can physically adjust your antenna for length of wire, whether it's literally a wire or it's a vertical whip that you can adjust up and down, you should always tune by physically adjusting the antenna. You only really use a tuner if you need to soften the edges of an antenna that is like fixed. Like if the wire's cut and like that's all it is and you just put it up in the air and you go, then use the tuner. Go nuts. If you're using an antenna that is specifically a resonant antenna, which by the way, you'll know if you're doing that. Like if you're using the vertical telescoping whip, then you're not in that situation. You do not need to use the tuner almost ever if you're using something vertical.
Okay, makes sense. Appreciate the answer.
Yeah, that's a great question. God, I love that question. We should all harken back to that later when we get to the biggest ham radio myths. So,
comment.
Go ahead, hide and seek.
So, with the scenario just described, the display on the front of a tuner, assuming it has that, can be very useful, as you got an SWR display that can help you make sure you've set the trombone at the right length.
Yeah, but most radios have an SWR reading, and you can almost always just use the SWR meter on the radio. In fact, I prefer just going straight into the radio, keying up on something that has a carrier like AM or something with a constant output like FM, RIDI, whatever, and doing the SWR check that way.
Yeah, that's true. There are multiple ways to do it. So the tuner, if you have it, you don't need to disconnect it, was my point. You can still be useful in some capacity.
It can, boy. You know, you're talking to all my points of like portable radio use. Like if I need one less box that I have to put in a backpack or the trunk of my car, boy howdy, I want to go that route. And so that's why I don't use tuners. I use resonant antennas so that I don't have to do that. That's why I'll bring like an antenna analyzer at worst case scenario so that I can adjust the antenna before I actually have to go use a tuner. Unless I'm using something like a doublet. A doublet, you're going to bring a tuner. And they work great. They're just different animals.
Yeah, all good points. A lot of different ways to get there depending on what you prefer.
Yeah, absolutely. And it does come down to preference. I'm very opinionated on what I like to do, but at the same time, I own a doublet. I love setting up doublets. They're great. In fact, every time we do the HRCC campout, we use the is it K7 UAP? The UAP doublet that he sent me. It's fantastic. They work great. I love them. I love non-resonant antennas as much as I like resonant antennas. But if you're going the resonant route, you always tune for resonance, tune for best SWR if you can't tune for resonance, and you don't use the tuner, right? That's the way to go. So hopefully, I hope that makes sense.
K7 UAP.
K7 UAP. He's the man. Great antenna. Okay. Who else? Anybody here for the first time that'd like to say hi or ask a question? Come now.
I just want to say bye.
Okay. Well, thank you, buddy. Good luck on your general. Good luck. Keep studying. Keep doing the practice exams. hamstudy.org. Free website. If you're not doing it, check it out. Okay. Good luck.
I may come back later.
Okay. Thank you for the warning. Anybody else in here the first time like to say hi or ask a question? Go ahead. All right. Well, I think we have exhausted the newcomers. If you end up joining us, if you're watching right now on YouTube, feel free to take the link in the video description. Set up your audio voice stuff. Make sure you're setting speakers. Set your mic, and make sure you set a PTT button. Otherwise, none of this stuff will work correctly. All right, we're going to go to the show topic, which is what are some of the biggest ham radio myths that you've ever heard? So is there anybody on the Discord that would like to go first? Ham radio myths. Maybe you yourself, when you were starting out, you're like got caught up with the ham radio myths.
How about this one? I'll start it off strong. It's only for old people.
Okay. It's only for old people. Yeah, I think that's more of like ignorance or just shaming. One of my favorite ones, and it's a throwback of the CBers. It's the CBers, and I don't think most CBers believe this, by the way, but it definitely comes from CB, is that when you're running mobile radios, you have to use a 13-foot piece of coax. That's still one of my favorites. I've talked to Not a Rubicon about it. He also doesn't know where that came from, but I think it's from the CBers. When you're setting up a mobile radio, you have to use a 13-foot piece of coax. That's
and there's this one, and then I'll let someone else chime in.
Yeah.
You need a big antenna to make DX contacts.
So there's actually a long-running joke on this, and it goes way back on this Discord, where somebody got into a heated debate about antennas, and they're kind of like, take my ball and go home comment, I think they might have left the server, I could be wrong, was you can't DX on an end-fed half-wave. And that was, it still comes up. I think it's a meme somewhere. Do you remember that, Don?
Yeah, it was you can't
DX
on a random wire, and that was Tom that kept bringing that up, VK Tom.
I think Tom was in on the joke. I think he might have been.
Yeah, he was the one that created the joke. Yeah.
Oh, it was not. No, it was somebody who was very passionate saying that you cannot DX on an end-fed half-wave.
Yeah, somebody who did do that, but yeah, and probably Tom latched onto it as a joke. And
yes, Tom was the generator of the meme. Yes, that's about the same time as whip grease. That was the early days of the HRCC after chat. Yeah, that was.
I remember that you can't DX on a random wire, which is just completely untrue.
Gosh, what are some of the other myths?
Here's one that someone I argued with, who is in here sometimes, claiming that an end-fed half-wave is not a multi-band antenna.
That I don't even understand how that would. It's
Neither do I.
Oh, okay.
That is a thing that is out there.
Is that like you've heard that from more than just one person?
I actually somebody wrote an article about it that I read a couple weeks ago.
That it's
I don't
not
remember what it was. I kind of that it is not.
Yeah, I've heard it too.
Multi-band antenna.
Is that because it's not truly transmitting, like it's the harmonics of the wire?
I don't know their reasoning.
Gosh, if you find
but my 80
blog,
meter end-fed half-wave is resonant on every band 80 through 10. Even the work bands like 30, 17, and 12 are good enough where my 7610's tuner will tune it.
Yeah. But
so
I guess I don't understand the if you're okay. So if you're cutting a wire for resonance on 80 meters, then it's truly resonant on that 80 meter frequency. And while it will function on 40 and all the other harmonics of that fundamental frequency, you're picking up different radiation patterns from doing it that way. So is that the argument they're making?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
They're just saying it's not a. Yeah, you're asking for myths, buddy.
No, it's a good one. Yeah. So if somebody finds that blog, post it because I wanna read that. I want us all to take a look at that. I think that would be fun.
Well, it's not the blog, but I did find an interesting Reddit post about it.
Oh, we love the Reddit posts.
I dropped it, so have fun.
All right, we'll pull that up while you guys think of other myths.
What about SWR? Your SWR has to be like below 1.2 or you can't transmit.
Yes, your SWR has to be under 2 or you will not be able to transmit. Yeah, why, Mark, you want to add your thoughts on why that is should be thrown out as a horrible myth?
So I said 1.2 because I hear people always, trying to chase a perfect 1-to-1 match.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, the higher your SWR goes, the more energy you're going to return to your finals, heating them up and burning them out. You can do it, you just can't do it for long. The higher your SWR is, the quicker you're going to fry those things.
Most of today's radios are pretty good at folding back, so they won't damage themselves. I think actually, a lot of myths come from like the past. And yeah, there was a time where if you had an antenna that had a lot of reflections, reflected power, then you could damage your finals. Like that's very true. But nowadays, with a lot of radios, like that's really not a problem that they experience. So I can see the origin. Like most myths they're based in some kind of fact, and it's usually in the past. So the fact that it's like this is where it comes from, but that's not like true anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there are some amplifiers, and I have seen this where in the manuals they say don't go above 2.1 to 1.
Yeah.
And that absolutely is true. You can heat them up because you're pushing out so much more power than you do on a 100-watt radio. And they don't really, at 2 to 1, they don't really back off.
I've got a good one.
Yeah, so like 3 to 1 SWR is usually about the space where I'm like, I'm probably not being very effective. And I will say that if I'm on QRP, I'm much more sensitive to the mismatch. So I will adjust antennas if my QRP is giving me, like if I'm at 2 to 1 SWR on QRP, I'm like, oh boy, I'm not doing nearly as well as I could, and then I will go adjust things. So that's kind of true, but.
So I know a guy here locally. He has the buddy stick antenna, and he will fiddle with it for hours in a POTA park to get it to 1.0 to 1 before he even thinks about actually activating. I'm like, dude, I have 30 contacts already with my 25-foot vertical and my 76-foot infed. Like, really?
And then somebody tunes up on his frequency, and he has to move a couple of kilohertz over, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I have to retune the whole damn thing."
I'm like, bro, I've done 3 activations already in the time it's taking you just to tune this thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, that is okay. That is true. We get too I will say some hams get too bookish about like things that they will get to the point that they're like, oh, I have to be so perfect with my setup that I cannot move forward, and we get stuck in this like engineering mastery of all of it. And it's like, bro, just put something up. Most of the time, it's going to be like totally fine. Just go nuts. Like like Don in a van with a ham stick on a mag mount, kicking butt all over the place. It's like, technically, that's not a perfect antenna, Don. How dare you make contacts with this like this unnatural antenna? How dare you?
Yep, I've gotten that. In fact, Ape still loves to tease me about that one.
Well, yeah, but you got how many? I don't know Ape's call sign. He's never handed me I believe it's a gold leaf paper, like when you're officially allowed to know his call sign. It's a gold leaf business card. I haven't got that. But how many more POTA activations do you have than Smoking Ape, Don?
Well, I've got a kilo at one of the parks that, and at least 90% of that's on a ham stick. At least.
Yeah, and that's great. And that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I've switched from ham sticks, of late, but only because I got an ATOS 120 because of somebody with the last few letters of MRD. But it's just out of convenience, and that one's probably more compromised than a ham stick.
Yeah.
So I mean, I haven't suffered any. Now, I won't do QRP. I'm sorry, but
wow, you're missing out.
That's a step too far.
All right, I hear you. Somebody said they had a good one. I heard the words, but I didn't notice the name. So who's got the good one? Go for it. Oh, somebody said they had a good one. Good myth.
Josh, I'll counter your that ham radio isn't for old people just by hanging out an 80 meter for more than 5 minutes. I'll be convinced otherwise.
I didn't say it's for old people. I just agreed. It's not for old people.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's the joke. Oh, ham radio is not for old people. Like, hang out an 80 meter for more than 5 minutes.
Well,
you'll not think that's so.
but maybe because of the antenna space that's sometimes required for 80 meters, that it's more pointed towards people who have a property. They stay up late hanging out, talking to their buddies. That's probably
No, so
more
they're
true
not-
than not.
They're not a millennial. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, like,
so there's somebody who can afford a house.
I mean, it's not a joke. Like, that's real. That like a lot of people that are active in amateur radio, like that I think of as active, and they're like doing soda activations and parks on the air. A lot of them don't have fantastic like home stations, and you ask them like, well, "What's the deal?" And they're like, "Well, I either don't own this home or I live in an HOA," and they've got a number of valid reasons why they can't, set up a proper home station and potentially put up an 80-meter anything antenna. And so they're like, so I just rock POTA. I learned CW to do parks on the air and summits on the air, and like that's their jam. And they're not even doing it at home. Like that's a real thing. That's totally true. So yeah, it's not wrong. It goes both ways, I guess, is the point.
Comment.
Go ahead, comment. You got a good myth for us?
Well, just an add-on to the 80-meter discussion. I think.
Oh boy, here we go.
The time of day when it's most active is less conducive to portable ops anyway.
Say that again. I think I missed portable ops.
So 80 meter is like the most noise, the most old people, the most crankiness. Is it like what 2 to 5 a.m. or so? And that's not exactly when most people are at public parks.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. And so we're generally on the higher bands too. That's true. That's true.
Well,
Yeah.
I hear most of the activity from around 9 to midnight. So. But I mean, it's still the same thing's true. There are some operators recently, POTA operators, that are coming on at 10 o'clock at night, which I don't get. But it's not like you go on 80 meters about 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and there are nets going, from then until 1 or 2 in the morning.
Yeah, that's true.
And then there's the guys that start up just like you said at 4 or 5 or 6.
Yeah. So here's a really interesting myth that Digital Dreamer wants to point out about me. Josh would move to Hawaii, but not after this trip. I will tell you what, everybody listening, I would move to Hawaii almost in a heartbeat if like both two things would need to happen. One, I need to have like a sustainable business that like I could actually make money off of, because unfortunately there's not a lot of big business and technology that happens in Hawaii. Obviously there's some military stuff, but it's related to like Pearl Harbor and I think there's an army based on the Big Island, that kind of stuff. So I would have to be like full-time YouTube. The problem is that living in Hawaii is like the most expensive place in America that you can live. It's very expensive. The second is like more of a cultural thing. And the reality is like there's a lot of like non-Hawaiians that move to Hawaii that aren't from that culture and that community. And I'm not saying they're trying to take over. I'm not saying anything like that. But there's a pretty large contingent of people that don't want people moving to Hawaii. Like, they want you to come and vacation there, but then they want you to go home. And I respect it. I'm not trying to, like, just buy some land and drop my place. Because I get it. Hawaii, like, if you look up, by the way, if anybody has some time, look up the culture of Hawaii for, like, the history of Hawaii for, like, the last 300 years. It's a really interesting kind of deep dive, and there's a total there's a ton of YouTube videos that explain it. It's quite fascinating. You should do it, particularly before you travel to Hawaii. You should definitely do that. I love Hawaii, by the way. One of my favorite states to travel to, no question. But yeah, all right. There was somebody was trying to speed run the myths earlier. Yeah, it's right here. This is speed running the myths. First myth: ham radio's dying. Absolutely not. I think we know from the ARRL, from the numbers, that licenses are up. Licenses are up all over the place, and I think they'll continue to be up. Now, ARRL has had some difficulties with their subscriber base for a number of reasons, the magazine included. I think people just keep it simple and they go after that, but I continue to support them because I like the services I get there. By the way, I am working with the ARRL right now to help me with my RFI stuff, because I have super high RFI, and it's not the power company anymore, so I have to work with them because there's another potential group that I have to work with that's a part of the the U.S. government because they may be creating the RFI, and they've been helping me. They've been emailing me back and forth. They actually said, "Hey, can you set it? Is there a time I can give you a call and we can work this out?" Very, very helpful. Very helpful. So I appreciate that. Anybody else want to comment on ham radios dying? Why that's a myth, or maybe not? Maybe you think it is dying. What are your thoughts?
I have a comment.
So let's go with Don and then John. I saw Don first and then John.
Okay, sorry. Well, I mean, I've been a ham for 30 years, and when I started, they told me it was dying. Oh, it's going to be dead in 5 or 10 years.
Right.
And I'm sorry, I don't believe it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say or what things you bring up about what's causing what's going to cause it to die.
Yeah.
It just isn't true. I just don't believe it.
Yeah.
Or let's put it this way. I'm old enough now. Maybe it will happen after I'm dead.
That's a good way to look at it. John, go ahead with your thoughts.
I think it's not as, let's say, media focused as a lot of things now with, obviously you guys on YouTube, all of you guys, but you don't get the same traction, I think, that you do with some other things. And I don't think it's talked about as much anymore, being where we're kind of in this state where everybody kind of feels safe, I guess you could say. I mean, obviously, things happen, Trump bombs Iran, whatever. But, in general, I think people feel more safe. And so it doesn't get the same coverage that it really should, and I think that's one of the reasons why. And I think there needs to be more field days or more things per year to really try and bump that up.
Yeah, I would like to point out that the people that are in prominence, if you will, like if you're talking about your club or the leadership of any of the major groups that put on Hamfest or the ARRL, they're of a bracket. They're older. They just are in a bracket that's older, different generation, right? Because ham radio is to a large degree, at least with what we traditionally do with amateur radio, something that like retirees, people looking for something to do, they really dive in on it. But again, as we mentioned, Parks on the Air, Summits on the Air is opening up to an incredibly larger, younger base than knew about it before, and the biggest precluder from bringing people in is it's actually technical. You have to learn a lot. You got to get in there in the trenches and learn about how antennas work and how radios function. And you don't just like pick up a phone and like clicky click, I got an app, boom, I'm off to the races. It don't work that way. It's never worked that way. And for those reasons alone, it's just going to preclude it to a smaller subset of society. It's just that's just the reality of it, from my point of view. Okay, number 2, too expensive. By the way, I think ham radio can be very expensive, but in the terms of like just getting on the air and making contacts on HF or VHF, UHF, I think it's never been cheaper. I don't think it's ever been cheaper than it is right now, if you get down to it. Anybody want to challenge me on that?
I don't know. It's been this cheap for an awfully long time.
Not really. Baofangs are $17 now, and the G106 is $249.
Yeah, but when they first came out, my wife saw them long time ago, and we got some then for $21. So those things have been around.
$21 back then was like $100 now.
No, it wasn't, Mike. No.
Like $17 Baofangs? $17 Baofangs, Don.
I know.
When I got into the hobby,
they're a few bucks cheaper, but yeah, when we first got ours, they were about $21 a piece. And
there was a. Sorry, I thought you were done.
No, go ahead.
There was a period, I want to say maybe the height of like 21 or maybe early 22 when things got crazy expensive. They were up to like $38 each and have come back down since. But yeah, there was a brief time where it was kind of ridiculous, even considering now everything is more.
Well, but, keep in mind that there's like accessories now that go with ham radio. By the way, there's accessories in the past too, but look at how cheap a laptop is now. Like, look at how inexpensive these small little computers are. And all those things are like important to radio. We use them a lot. So $17 Baofeng, sub $100 laptops. You can get more expensive, but just also consider that as you get more expensive, you're packing in features that probably cost $500 to $1,000 or more if it was just boxes that you would put on a shelf to do radio things. Like the N76, the Vero VGC N76, the Baofeng Tech or whatever it is. That technology that's in there, that's hundreds of dollars in the 90s and the early 2000s to do what it does. Like, that is a lot of money that it just does inside of the box. And you can access it via your phone. So it's like it's never been cheaper. It really hasn't. And yes, inflation is real. That's no question. But yeah.
Yeah, the UV5R came out in 2012. That's how old it is. It's long. Really
That's
old
crazy,
radio.
man.
Yeah,
and when you think about it,
guys, it's very cheap today to start talking on radio amateur, and there's a lot of custom firmwares you can install on some radios that maximize your communications.
Yeah, totally.
when you think about it, nowadays you can pretty much get set up for the cost of what these kids are paying for a system and a couple of games. So, I mean, is it really that expensive when you think about it?
John, I love that. Like, you can get a PS5 for like $500, and somebody's in the chat saying, "Don't forget the QRP QDX. That's $100, and you're doing digital single sideband CW."
Oh yeah.
For $200, maybe a little bit more than $200, maybe $300. You could put together a pretty nice little portable setup using a QDX as the radio. And you'd be styling. You have a ton of batteries, different batteries, a nice CW key, a wire antenna, a good antenna, and you'd be killing it.
Even if you spend a little bit more and get a QMX or QMX Plus.
Yeah, QMX, yeah.
I recommended a QMX to that kid that was on asking about the G106.
But remember
yeah,
too that, like, sorry, when I started again, 91 or so, you could get those little MFJ boxes that had maybe one band on it. And what was really expensive back then were dual band radios. Those were like
crazy
gold.
Yeah.
They were gold. And that's why, like, to me, Alinka was the first Baofeng, because Alinka was the first time I could actually afford a dual band radio. So there are things that are a lot cheaper because the technology's moved on, but there were alternatives back then. I mean, and I don't go back as far as some people do, but even in the days of the Heathkit, I don't think those were like. I think the reason people bought them and built them was because it was an inexpensive way to get in the hobby.
Yeah, but you had to pay a lot more to do what the equipment now does. So I said QDX, I meant QMX. I meant the QMX.
Yeah, but remember, you didn't know the difference.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I mean, sure. But now we do have all those options, and so the QMX for $135, like, built, and there's probably taxes and shipping on that. You got a single sideband radio, a digital radio, and a CW radio all in one, which is insane. That's insane.
Yeah. And the QMX Plus gives you all bands.
Too big.
All
too
in
big.
the same box for the same price.
It's too big. It's just too big. It's just too damn big.
Well, it's not for hike. I'm just talking if you're.
Where's
gonna put
Adam?
that at
Where's
home.
Adam? Back me up, Adam.
Yeah.
It's too damn big.
You know
it's
what?
a couple of grams too heavy.
But that's an excellent point as far as the pros and cons of this. So everything we're talking about for the most part in the last several minutes has been portable, has been small, has been maybe not intended to be portable in every use case, but land, owning a house, much more expensive now than even just a few years ago.
Yeah.
So HF radio, I would maintain, either has been the same considering the inflation curve or is now more expensive compared to others if you look at it from a home QTH standpoint.
If you only factor in home QTH, I just, that's also, like, are we taking inflation away for a second? Can I put that on the side? Because if everything inflated,
Yeah,
like, so yeah, right?
Yeah, like if I want to be on HF and I'm fine going to a park to do it, much less expensive than 10 years ago. If I want to have a great shack that I can put in my great house and coinciding with the American dream and all these things, I would say more expensive now than just a few years ago, let alone a decade.
No. And
not even close.
Not even close. You can go buy a Yaesu 710 right now, and you can get a really good base station radio. Couple that with a DX Commander, and if you want a horizontally polarized antenna, the sky's the limit for inexpensive antennas, or build it your own. Build it yourself. Like, yeah, there's so many options, dude. It's so crazy what we have now.
You could even go the route of not even doing a 710 or do a 710, but you could also do an 891 and an ATAS and just throw it in the ground and get a good grounding system going. That could also be portable.
There's a reason why I went with the 710 versus the 891, because to me that is a mobile or portable radio. Like, I don't get base station vibes when I use it. Like, just I don't. But like a 710 is like $1,000 or less than that when it goes on sale. Like, it's the same price point or less than if you were back in the 90s for a radio that did the same thing. Think about that. Like, it's literally cheaper.
I ran an 891 as my base station for at least a year.
I know you
can.
Awesome. I know you can. I'm saying I don't consider it a base station.
And the noise reduction on those radios makes up for most compromises that you might get with them, as like if you're trying to go full on buy once cry once too. So
yeah,
saving a little bit there helps.
All of these are excellent points, but I think that with the much more aggressive HOA situation that people deal with now compared to, again, just a few years ago to a decade ago versus further. And as well, the barrier of entry of first home buyers, you're pretty much stuck with either move out in the middle of the country and get like the FHA loans, or you buy a house in a like on a cul-de-sac with an HOA. So there is also that factor.
You're kind of moving the goalpost. The comment was too expensive. But yes, all of your points are right. Yes, okay. I do want everybody, as always, I don't know how many times this comes up a year, not many. I want to remind everybody that in some areas of the country, some states, there are very few options that are acceptable that are not HOAs. Like, there are some cities, particularly for like technical professionals and many others, that an HOA is what you're going into. There's not many other options other than that. Unless you're going to drive further or you're going to do a number of compromises to not be in an HOA. Like, that is an omnipresent danger. I don't question that. You're totally right, hide and seek. I'm not questioning that. But the too expensive point is the one I want to make sure we stick to.
Yeah, Look, I'm not married to this argument. I was only trying to.
You're doing the devil's advocate thing. I appreciate it.
I am the devil. It's true.
Yeah, we're still speed running. So 3, I think this is actually a really good myth. It requires a lot of space at home. Number 3, most common ham radio myth, requires a lot of space at home. So I will remind everybody. I have opened my inbox, josh@hamtactical.com. Make sure you email me a couple of things. It's got to be subject title, ham radio recommendations from Josh. It has to spell that because that's what I search on. And then I want you to tell me what your ham radio goals are with your antenna. I want you to tell me what your budget is, and just primarily anything else I need to know. Like, hey, that street over there has got a power line. I don't want to hit the power line. And drop a satellite image, like from Google Earth. Don't include your address or anything like that, because I'm taking all your questions on how to get an antenna up in compromised spaces or any space. So email me at josh@hamtactical.com for the things I mentioned. Too much space, though. We know that you got a DX Commander, which is always a really good default play. But a wire antenna can go up in all kinds of different capacities. You can even kind of move them around a little bit at right angles. Will it perform perfectly? No, it won't. We know that. But You can absolutely fit HF antennas in a small place. Does anybody comment on requires a lot of space at home?
I only have 4 acres and unlimited budget.
You didn't used to have that though, Don.
I know.
You're wallowing in how amazing your life is. You forget where you came from, Don.
No, I don't, because I remember the noise floor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that actually, when y'all talk about QRP, that's one of the things that you're doing is you're keeping those people who you cannot beat their noise floor with your signal. You're keeping them from working contacts because they can't hear you.
That's true.
And if you think about it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. You can go to the most beautiful, pristine, RF quiet location in the world, set up your station, and there'll be a ton of people that just can't hear you because their RFI is just too dang high.
Yeah.
Like that's just real. That's real life. We all got that problem.
Yeah, Josh is living that.
Oh yeah, I'm living it and fighting it daily. Like I don't even know how many times I told you I found another source of noise. I'm hunting this down. I had a DF loop out on 4th of July, because everything was quiet, and I went around and plotted a bunch of locations taking videos that I'm sending to the ARRL to help me out. Not even kidding. They've been amazing. So,
well, what I'm actually running into, and I know poor me, but good God, 300 feet of coax is expensive.
That's true.
That's what I'm running into, 300 to 500 feet of coax.
Okay, I will say that the cost of copper has gone up significantly. I looked at coax prices, and I was like, holy crap, for a 20-foot run of like Messi and Poloni, it was like $80. And I was like, oh, man, that is getting crazy.
Yeah,
have you looked at that?
You can use discount code K8MRD. And
no, you use coupon code Josh at Gigaparts.
Well, the problem is at Gigaparts they didn't have the links I needed, so I actually did use Mike's code with.
You don't even need the links. You can just use Josh at checkout. It works on like everything now.
On
is it really
Messi and Pelotti's site? Because I had to go there to get the link.
No, you want Gigaparts. Use Gigaparts. Why don't pay extra for the importation and stuff like that? Just use Gigaparts. They got everything, and you can select the links you want.
I didn't realize they would build it for you.
It's not built; it's pre-cut. Well, for you at 300 feet, that's a whole different game. I can't comment on that. That's true. You should probably use Mike's code at that point.
That's what I'm saying. I
have a mic at I have a mic at Messi and Poloni. I don't know what I'm thinking there. I have a code at Messi and Poloni.
It's code K8MRD.
That's the code.
And any orders over €99 to the U.S. and Canada get free shipping.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't remember paying anything in shipping, but the coax was like, $550 or something like that.
It's very expensive.
You can say it's ridiculous, but it's not. It's just the cost.
Okay.
Which
so
coax were you looking at, Don?
Sahara 7.
Oh.
300 feet of that was how much?
As I recall, it was close to $320, I think is what it was. Something like that.
That's reason. That's about
that sounds about right.
Yeah. I'm saying it's reasonable. It's just, to me, $300 for one piece of coax.
There's a lot.
300 feet, Don.
Unlimited budget.
Well, true, but I really want to put up a tower now. I shouldn't, but anyway, sorry.
Do it.
Don. Todd Digital Dreamer has a good point. At 300 feet, just buy the spool from Messi and Poloni and put the connectors on your darn self.
That's true too.
If I had time to do that, I would.
Maybe time. It takes like no time. And the compression connectors that Messi has, those are fantastic. You can do that without any
That's BS,
tooling.
Don, because he's been here for the last 3.5 hours. Just with ham radio crash course. You literally could be doing this while you're on chat.
Yeah, literally. Well, no, because he's going to cut them to perfect length, right? Of course. And he might be at the connection box outside the house or whatever. Yeah, but still, it's not long.
Exactly what I do. I throw my Bluetooth headset on and I listen.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I
This
want to
thing's
talk.
overrated.
They don't call them excuses, Don, for no reason.
You're right.
All right. Next is ham radio's only for nerds. Well, they got us on that one. That is true. I have not found a non-nerd.
No, false. It's also
It's
for
true.
weebs. And
It's also for weebs and furries. That's true. We have a large contingent of weebs and furries.
Hang on.
That is true.
I did not consider myself a nerd until I got into ham radio.
Well, they just help you.
Guitarist. I'm a rock star, even though
we consider you a nerd,
not
though.
good.
I would,
but I was a guitarist. I was cool. I was voted most musical in my graduating high school class.
But let me ask you, Mike.
Then I discovered guns. Actually, I've been shooting guns my whole life, but then I discovered ham radio.
Okay.
So you're a gun nerd.
And that's when, yes, that's
But Mike,
when the real nerdery came out.
Would you consider yourself possibly a guitar nerd?
Really? No. I mean, I like my things. Honestly, guitar is kind of how I started getting into radio, because when I was 12 years old and got my first guitar, probably a year later, I bought a Nady Wireless One, which is just a wireless system for my guitar, and I've been using wireless for my guitar ever since. I don't use Nady anymore, though.
Mike, Andy's in the chat. K-Booty, he's in the chat, and he has it right. Musicians are nerds by default.
I think so,
by
too.
Default,
No, musicians are cool.
Some are.
Nerds are cool.
No.
Some musicians are cool. Some.
Okay, rock and roll and ham radio. Rock and roll is just, you can't argue it. It's got the cool factor. Ham radio, not so much.
There's not
I'm in the inner circle. Obviously, ham radio is cool now that I'm here, but there's something to say about a Gibson Les Paul.
Yeah, that's true.
Hard to argue with.
That's cool. That's not nerd. I mean, you can nerd out on guitars. But
it's guitar sexy for sure.
Not the same thing.
Mike, Joe Walsh, nerd or not?
Well, yeah, he's a
Bob
nerd
Isle.
because he's.
No, Josh, don't taint it. Nerd or not,
Okay, I'm not
Mike?
I'm not.
Well, he's a rock star first.
Okay. And then he's a ham. Okay.
I
so
can see how you're like an onion,
Joe Walsh, Bob Heil, myself, we're cut from the same cloth, except they're both exponentially smarter than I am.
When did we all become ogres?
We've all always been ogres. It's just that it took DreamWorks to define it for us.
I have to pull this up because Jody is so fast with the memes. You see this? You see this meme that Jody just dropped?
On top of it tonight.
Oh my gosh! With the quickness,
Venn diagram.
with the quickness,
How does Jody do it?
I don't know how he does it, man. How do you have a Venn diagram on tap like that? That's crazy.
I mean,
pre-caching all that.
100% true.
That is
it's like 30
hilarious.
letters, so it can take that
There
long
you
to
go,
type.
Josh. There's another. What do you call it? What do the kids call them? Memes.
A meme. So I was trying to explain that a meme is a video as much as it is an image. Like there's a ton of video memes now, tons, old videos and stuff.
Yeah, but they're
now
GIFs.
memes.
Those are GIFs.
No, actual videos.
Or do we say GIF? I say GIF.
Like Bub Rub and Lil Sis with the whistle tips is a meme. That is a meme in itself. That is a meme.
Again?
Hold on. It's a meme only in the morning.
Bub Rub and Lil Sis with the whistle tips. I don't know what I'm.
Go up a hill.
No, if you don't, already chat knows exactly what I'm talking about. They already know exactly. That is a meme. That is a meme. That's a living meme. Everybody's blowing up right now with the woo woo. Everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody knows.
Woo woo is a what's that group? The Insane Clown Posse thing.
Yeah.
No, it's Bub Rub and Lil Sis.
I'm glad I don't know what you're talking
well,
about.
I am so glad you don't know this because coming to you at Huntsville Hamfest, I will be sending you this video.
I don't have to keep you company the last 3 days again, do I?
You do not. You do not. In fact, I got a single bed. I've got things planned. I'm chilling.
So we're moving from 2 queens to 1 queen?
No, we're not moving anywhere. I've got my room. That's it. I'm sorry, Mark, to break it to you like this.
So Leia's coming this time?
It's not off the table, but I'm planning to maybe have that happen. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, well, she is sleeping on the couch.
Oh, okay. I'll let her know.
You can pass that on to her.
I will let her know. I will
Queens.
let her know. The two queens
no,
must
that
reign.
room
Let
was
him must
nice.
sleep
That
on
room
the
was nice.
couch.
I want to hear that on the podcast.
Oh no.
Leia Mike says you get to sleep on the couch at
Oh
Huntsville.
no.
You guys don't understand. Like, Josh was so lonely last year at Huntsville because I was car camping, and Josh was like really vehement about
I
like.
thought I was helping you. I thought I was drinking a lot too. I was drinking a lot, and I thought I was helping you.
Shut up, Josh. I'm telling the story.
Well, that's why you're not invited this year.
He's like, you know, I got a room, I got 2 beds, I got 2 queens, and we just literally just walk over across the thing to the ham show. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm car camping. And like 3 more times he asked me. So finally I'm like, all right, dude, I'll come sleep with you.
I thought I was helping.
We
I will
did not
never
sleep that much that night.
I will never do that again, Mike. You will let me know if you want the spare bed. I will not ask again. I thought I was helping. You made me feel all weird about it, and I'm like,
nice.
I guess I am being a little insistent about this. I thought I was trying to help, but okay.
No,
I will not ask again. I know,
Josh,
but I'm not going to ask
grateful.
again.
You know I love you, not in that way.
I know this. I know this.
Leia might still be mad, but
no, not at all. Leia loved it
that's a
because we
you
called
problem.
her. We called her from the room. She was having a blast talking to us.
The Florida thing, though, our deal's
Oh
gonna
no,
stay.
100%. That's not changing. That's not changing. But I will not. I thought I. By the way, I will go sleep in the dirt. I don't have a problem sleeping on the ground, although I prefer having a mattress. All that stuff. I'll backpack. I'll be dirty. I don't care. But when it comes to Huntsville, I really do like having the room at the Embassy Suites. You literally can walk over. I can drop my stuff in the room. It's all air conditioned. It's all connected. And then I just go to Mont Sano, and I just hang out, and then I go back to the hotel room. But I swear, everybody's lost their mind getting up on this mountain. It's like, guys, the hotel's better. It's way better. But you know what? I'm in the minority, and that's okay.
Antennas in the hotel.
You're right. You're right. You're totally right.
Well,
I mean that strikes 2 and 3 right there.
Hey, there's lots of good. There's lots of goods. There's lots of goods. No question.
The hotel for 3 nights cost me as much as it would have cost me to stay for a week at Montesano.
Okay, yeah, the hotel's
I
expensive.
think drinking and driving, like we're drinking. I got a DUI 2 weeks after I turned 21.
Okay.
That was 24 years ago. I know what I went through then. I can only imagine what it's like now.
It's got to be bad. That's true.
Will not do that. Do not condone it.
Yeah.
So that's another reason to stay.
That is a good point. That is a good point.
Or just don't drink and drive.
Yeah, don't do that.
Just don't drink.
Definitely don't do that.
But when you have, like Friday at Montesano is just coolers and coolers full of beer and people are
It is very
passing
tempting.
out,
That is true.
They're bringing Jason and Frank whiskeys and things because they're big into whiskeys. So there's that to be said. Like, if you're going to drink and drive in the campsite and go, back to your campsite,
do it in a golf
cart.
cart.
That's a really high risk thing. You know what I mean?
Just like
where once you leave the mountain, that's all bets are off.
I was just looking at a nice mark on the side of the Bronco from a Shacking Off brother from that get together last year.
Wait, where's my wait. I have it. This is a Shacking Off koozie.
Yeah.
I should have got more of those, dude. They had so many. I think I got 2, but that's enough. I'm using my Huntsville.
Tim, how many
right now? But yeah.
Jesus, man.
More than 2 is a drinking problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna go get my nth.
You know what else is a drinking problem, though? You go to a mountain in the south and you bring alcohol up the mountain, means you don't know the right locals.
No, Monsanto's not like. There's not a ton of like. Oh, I think I lost the. Shoot, I lost the chat's gone. Crap. What was the last point? We were speed running. Oh, I lost it. It's gone now. It's
Well,
it's
that
gone
was
forever.
Jody. Jody, what was your last point?
What was the last point, Jody? It was.
Ham radio is irrelevant.
Oh, well, that we just know that's not true. That's crazy. That's a huge myth. Just there's so many technologies that exist because of ham radio. And new technologies all the time are coming out of ham radio. Not to mention the integration between current technology. Like Mike was like, "Oh yeah, here's an app that'll let you spot yourself on the satellites on the iPhones if you want to do that. So then you can spot yourself." Hams are like the MacGyvers of the technology world. You can clobber things together, and then boom, you can do activations and get on the air. That's amazing. I just love that.
If the girl who felt at the volcano had a radio, maybe the things would be different now.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Working in the industry that I'm working in, we are behind.
Oh, like you're talking about?
There's antenna technologies out there that we don't even look at. I don't know why, but
like what?
Like MIMO. Why don't we do MIMO on 400 and 900, et cetera, megahertz?
Could you make one, Don, and show us, or
they're not that hard?
Well, okay, but
I mean the radios. I'm not going to build a radio, but yeah, it's not that hard. Basically, all it is, it's an antenna that's like slightly spread. You put like 4 antennas very close to each other, 2 that transmit, and 4 that receive. And when you do that, you actually can cause those frequencies to go around corners and around objects. So it's a really amazing technology. The other thing that we don't do is steerable antennas, where as you change the phasing on a dish,
like phased array.
It is, but it's in a very massive format. So like you take a satellite dish with a whole bunch of antennas in it, and you phase those antennas through the dish, and it will literally turn the antenna.
Yeah.
And that's how like Starlink is tracking satellites. But we do it all the time with communication satellites for telecom. And that's how we can get up to huge, speeds in some of the frequencies we're doing. 6 gigahertz, 10 gigahertz. Like in 10 gigahertz, what we're doing is y'all are taking horns and shooting at each other. Well, look at all the things that we're doing with 24 gigahertz. And I don't know why we don't experiment that way. But I don't play in those frequencies, so I can't answer that question. But it does, we do some amazing things with those antennas.
So the phased array on the high frequencies, yeah, the Starlink is literally a phased array antenna. That's why it's pointable. Like it's just a flat square, but it's able to move and slew the antenna by adjusting all those different like the different antennas that are in it.
There's a bunch of
little antennas. Yeah.
Right.
So yes, absolutely, but the reason why a lot of that's less popular is because that's a commercial device for simplicity. You just set this thing up and let the software do the work. It's not necessarily a better performer than like 8 elements on 70 centimeter that's pointed, and you track and point with an Azel rotor. That's still going to be a way better performer than that kind of an array, a phased array for sure.
The satellite dishes turn faster. That's the reason they do it.
Maybe, but it's not going to perform better.
Think of a 24 element array and trying to turn that thing. You're on a rotator. You can't turn it as quick as you can.
Depends on your motors. Current. Depends on your motors.
Oh, electric current? You're changing electric current in a phased
We're
array.
still talking about low Earth satellites. They're not moving faster than you can attain them. And if they were, then you'd have a larger problem with crosslink to the next constellation.
Well, yes, but we could be doing low Earth satellites.
We are doing low Earth satellites. That's my point, is that you have one satellite versus an array of satellites, remember that Starlink is set up in like multiple satellites that run at low Earth orbit, and so your phased array just needs to be in the sweet spot for all of them. Versus if you have one satellite that's flying overhead, you need to get all the gain possible on that one thing. So,
well,
yeah,
they're spread out. They're spread out from each other, so there's a distance between each one, and it's tracking one as it goes overhead, and then it switches back to the next one as it goes overhead. And in order to do that movement that fast, it has to do it electrically, not with a rotator.
right. But that's not a world that ham radio has right now. We don't have 5 lower satellites that are in a tight packed mesh that we would be jumping between. So if that was the case, that'd be then you might see that happen. But it's like you're answering a question that doesn't exist, right? So phased arrays, when you hear them now, is like for HF, like a vertical phased array antenna setup. Like that exists. That's exists for a long time. But the high frequency stuff, the reason why it always goes back to like a single horn and a reflector and all that stuff is because, again, they're not moving, or if they are moving, the stepper motors generally can track a single satellite without a problem for the directional path that they have.
But remember, I brought up 2 technologies. So why don't we use MIMO?
I don't know enough about it. I don't know enough about it to comment on
it. What MIMO does is it gets around corners and things like that, because you spread the antennas out just slightly away from each other, and it causes the bounce angles to happen differently when it bounces off objects. So you tend to go around those objects using MIMO.
I'm down. Okay. I just don't know enough about it. I want to know more. Let's find out more.
And if you look actually at your newer like Wi-Fi routers, most of them have MIMO on them for the same reason, because they're getting up 5 gigahertz. In your house, you're going to bounce around doors and stuff like that. So if you have more antennas, you can actually bounce around and pick up signals that are getting bounced around in the room that come back to a different antenna better than the single antenna that was there.
So everything you're describing is indoors where there's things to bounce around against, and it's
we only do outdoor.
Okay, fair. So MIMO works with spread spectrum, which I believe starts at 222 and goes up from there.
No. Spread spectrum, we use the same
You can
frequency.
use it. Spread spectrum can be used anywhere.
And actually, it's not spread. We don't use spread spectrum. In telecom, we don't. It's a single frequency.
But I'm saying
1.9 gigahertz, boom, and we have 4 antennas on 1.9 gigahertz.
Let me clarify. If you had a radio that could switch fast enough and an antenna that was matched to that frequency, any software can do spread spectrum. I'm not talking about legality. I'm saying it's not like a special secret thing that only works at high frequency. You can do it all over the place.
Right. But I'm saying that for amateur use, it's allowed at 222 and above frequencies.
Okay.
But the example of a wireless router in your home, that is spread spectrum. That's where the application of MIMO technology has taken the most root. Yes, it is available in other technologies outside of that, but it's still not particularly popular anywhere else outside of wireless routers.
What?
Except for
whoa! It's in all of the cell towers. That's where we're putting them. We do massively multi-MIMO with 92 antennas on top of a single tower. For exact MIMO.
Okay, sorry, I misspoke by leaving out the part where that part is not accessible to the majority of us to tinker with, whereas a wireless router could be.
For multiple antennas on the same frequency, I think we could do. The only reason we can't is because we don't have the radios, or we don't have the antenna connections. But what I'm building right now, or working on building right now, has 2 radios in it, and there's 2 different those 2 radios connect to 4 different antennas, MIMO antennas, and those radios are fixed at a single frequency, and so are the handsets that like your cell phone type handsets, and we can get to those around corners and That's why we do it, and we only have 4.
I need more information on this. I don't think I know enough about this to be able to comment. intelligently. So, do we have an actual, like, there's no, it sounds like there's no reason we can't do this on ham radio. So, Don, you're working on something for that?
No, I'm working on it at work. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, no.
Hams, get on this. If you're watching right now, get
Yeah.
on some MIMOs. Where's my MIMOs at? I need
Well,
those MIMOs.
And the guys that would do it would be the guys like Hayden, who are working in the microwave area and, you know, that kind of thing, because they're building their own radios still. The problem that we have with like a commercially bought radio is most of them nowadays only have a single antenna port on them.
Question.
But again, like if you want to run on 10 gigahertz, you're just going to run a 10 gigahertz radio and antenna. Like, why would you need to get extra complicated? I guess I don't. I can see why you need that for like a big subscribed network kind of thing. But I guess I'm not.
Arden?
Well,
no, Arden's still multi frequency. Well, main primary frequency, but they have multi frequency radios, but they don't use MIMO.
MIMO is all going back to the same central processing unit. I mean, the benefits are for multi-receivers, but all fed back to one place, where Arden is just a spread spectrum of multi-mesh of radios.
So from the perspective of like Wi-Fi, MIMO is specifically TDMA. It's just time duplexing, which is what we do with DMR, right? And so there's things that with MIMO that work with like propagation in a house, where you can like, you know, there's I called it band steering earlier, but it's beamforming that they do also.
Beamforming is more
it's different,
phased arrays. So
right, exactly.
MIMO is not phased arrays. MIMO is just multiple outputs. So it's just putting multiple receivers that are chained together for processing gains.
So MIMO came about in AC Wave 1, and then multi-user MIMO came about in AC Wave 2.
So they're doing MIMO for like counter stealth stuff and stuff like that, in radar and stuff like that. So that's one of the big places you're seeing a lot of MIMO.
The big thing about MIMO is it lets you divide up the time so that multiple people can talk on the same bandwidth and still maintain bandwidth, right? Like the whole thing of multi-user MIMO is that I can communicate at full speed with, say, 4 consistent users. And so everybody's getting the same speed, you know, the guaranteed link speed from 4 users, right? And so, and I help that with beamforming, right? But like the MIMO itself is TDMA. So like MIMO doesn't do any beamforming by itself. Like it was introduced in Wi-Fi together, but like those things are not related.
Yep, it's like parallel technologies.
I love that the fact we talked long enough about MIMO, we pulled out like the super experts.
I know.
The people that were quietly not commenting, and I know one of them personally. Like, yes, you've hit me on my thing that I'm ridiculously qualified to talk about. Very funny. That's hilarious.
I mean, we don't like, aside from like DMR, like, you know, where you have the 2 time slots, like there's not really a lot of use for a MIMO technology in, you know, amateur radio, right? Like spread spectrum is cool because it's really hard to find. I have some spread spectrum radios and they're really cool. Like it creates a link and like you can't see it on a spectrum analyzer, and like that's cool.
I love it.
I don't know, because again, we don't do spread spectrum. I guarantee you we're doing a single frequency.
Spread spectrum is a separate technology. It's a separate technology that could be used in MIMO, but it's not specifically.
Nate! Oh, that's amazing!
Okay.
What a fantastic way to break that up. Okay, we need to get out of MIMO. I'm losing my mind.
Sorry, my wife just called.
I'm just gonna
That's your ringtone.
Yep, exactly.
That's
I'm gonna
amazing.
leave it at this. If that doesn't say, between that conversation and that ringtone, if that doesn't scream, we are all nerds, I don't know.
Yeah, we are all nerds, dog. Yes, I get it that there are various Venn diagrams, but some part of your soul is nerd. Like there's a line right through your heart that you're a nerd. It's in there. That's amazing.
Question?
Go ahead, man.
All right. In an attempt to take us on a left turn here.
Yes.
I met somebody whose son wants to be a ham Apparently, they're a double amputee. They've got a hook. They have trouble doing the PTT. I know there's other technologies out there. Can somebody point me to them, and I can pass them on? So they can't. They've got limited mobility via a hook, so they can't hold on to an HT radio. We just need to activate it for PTT.
Vox or foot pedal?
A foot pedal would work.
But then don't we have to put a headset on?
Yeah, you do.
No,
I don't. I don't know the capabilities.
Why?
Not necessarily, but
the foot pedal is now replacing the PTT, so you're
also going to have to use something for rig control.
Well, you didn't even say anything about rig control. He's talking about a VHF UHF radio. So
yeah, this would be an HT. This is for a fire watch, not a full ham thing. Just looking around. If they see a fire, they report it to the fire department directly.
Yeah, desktop mic and a foot pedal, and then the foot pedal would be wired directly in line with the mic. Because the foot pedal would be the one that's breaking the PTT contact.
But then we would also be losing speaker.
No,
so we'd have to do that too.
No, you don't plug into that port.
Yeah, that's all on the microwave or microphone side.
So just the mic line.
So Mark,
I guess it depends on. Well, I will take that back. It depends on the radio, of course. But like, if your radio has a speaker port and a mic port, you're not plugging into the speaker port. You're just going into the mic port, and the PTT line is going to go to a foot pedal, which is going to be a contact close, and that's going to enable PTT, and that's what's going to allow the microphone to switch the radio over to transmit.
Yes, and my foot switch also has an amp controller too, so if they upgrade to that part,
you can do that too.
Well.
Yeah. Does that make sense, Mark?
It does. So Frank just asked which radio. I'm going to assume like a Baofeng UV5R level for now.
Yeah.
My understanding of that is to activate PTT. I could just use Vox. We could do Vox.
Yeah.
Well, of course you can just do Vox, but hold on. So. Okay, hold on.
So the reason I was asking about that was my understanding of activating the Baofeng or anything with the K1 plug, you're shorting the two grounds together. And anytime you have anything plugged in, it's going to interrupt the speaker or mic, depending on the port. So I was just wondering if there was an all-in-one rig. If not, I'm sure I can jerry-rig something. But
wouldn't you have the same problem if you had a speaker plugged in then? Or because it shorted to ground, you can't do the audio things, is what you're saying.
Well, because something's plugged in, it will interrupt the speaker output, which then I would have to add a speaker to the mix too, which I could do. I was just looking for simple. I can wire something.
Comment.
No, I don't have the right
There's
plug.
Mike.
Good.
Yeah,
Good comment.
Mike.
What you can do because you're right, the two negative lines of the thing shorts it. What I did was cut down a PTT plug, so only a short amount of the speaker plug goes in, doesn't trip the thing, but still gives you the two sides of still gives you the earth plane to connect the switch across.
Okay, so you just shortened it so it wouldn't go down and interrupt the TRS jack.
Yeah.
You can rip the tip off of the tip.
Yeah, you just cut the plug in half, so you've only got like the negative bit, and it will hold. That will hold itself in. It's not great, I will say. It's probably a little wobbly, but if that's what you need to do, you can do that.
I hate to ask this,
That is genius.
Why can't you just use a external speaker or headset?
Oh, you could do that too.
Well, one, I don't know if he can put a headset on. I don't know. I've never met this guy. I don't know his capabilities. Sure. I get the impression there's not a lot of money floating around, and they're going to insist on paying me for whatever I do. So I'm trying to keep it cheap and simple as possible. But I just got an idea from Mike. I like the interrupting with the short jack. I think that's the way to go. So I'm going to give that a shot. So, all right. Well, thank you guys.
Yeah.
I really like that. So thanks.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck with that, Mark. Maybe next week, let us know how it goes. If you make further progress, we'd love to hear it.
Cool. All right. Will do.
All right. I think unless somebody has got a myth that they were hanging on to, Anybody have a myth
I
they were
do.
hanging on to? Go ahead, Don.
Michael
I
liked
swear to
this.
God, if I hear MIMO come out of your mouth, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
It's pronounced solder, not solder.
Oh,
And
you
it's
are getting a
aluminum,
fight.
not
You
aluminium.
you are fighting some
Bring it.
Europeans. The UK is erupt. There are hams in the UK that were asleep
and leaded
quietly.
solder is where it's at.
Oh, what percentage? What percentage are you talking about?
Oh, what is it? 40, 60, I think?
63.
60-30? 60% lead, 30%. Yep. That's where I'm at.
Yep.
That's what I'm running.
It's 60-40, and
Oh, 60-40. That's right. Yeah.
60,
That's how
70,
math works
70.
to get to 100%. Yes.
So with Brexit, are y'all out of Rose?
Why are we throwing shade at the UK? What did they do,
No,
Don?
I'm asking.
Why are you hitting them so hard? What the hell?
I've been upset with Rose since it started. We don't need to be on Rose. We don't care.
Solder aluminium is very difficult.
Oh my God, I just got a super chat in pounds. Thank you, Figure 11.
How much solder can you buy for those pounds?
Oh my gosh, for $2 of solder? I don't know. I could probably get a decent chunk. I could probably do a kit with 2 pounds of solder.
So Don, I'm going to throw you off. It's solder and aluminium. Simple.
But it's aluminum. What are you talking about?
Aluminium.
Okay.
Frank, we fought a war, so we didn't have to talk funny. Stop saying that.
So
dude, I was
Frank.
Snow Cones and I were texting earlier today, and we were talking about batteries, and I'm like, just don't get that crappy copper-clad aluminum. But I spelled aluminium, just by mistake. But I saw it, and I'm like, you know what? We're going with it.
So Frank, that car brand that features a wild cat, how would you pronounce that?
Jaguar.
Loves to drive in his Jaguar.
Jaguar. Isn't it Jaguar in the British parlance?
I think it's spelled bankrupt at this point.
And we don't spell color with a U.
Well, they're still making cars because an Indian company bought it.
So Josh and everybody else.
That's a proper British automobile, by the way. That's why I brought that up.
I'm one of those people that color, humor, beautiful, and aluminium all have U in them. All the U's are there for me. That's how I was raised.
Aluminum.
They made the language. It's called.
Oh, because I guess alu versus aluminum.
Aluminium. We say aluminum. They say
aluminium. Yeah.
It's because you go.
They spell it different too.
It's because you go. Sod you, Dad. I'm going to say I want to.
What the hell?
You were clipping a little bit. I didn't get all that.
What is the?
Say water.
I got Mike just fine.
It's because you lot say, sod you, Dad, I'll say it how I want to.
We don't say sod anybody in America. Sod is not a term that we use. That's
Josh, did you get your laundry sodded recently?
No.
Okay, I'm trying to keep it clean.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Grass for us.
Yeah, sod is literally turf.
What does sod mean in the UK?
You don't want to know.
If it's sod you, it's a derogatory
like
term.
You guys. Yeah, all right.
Such language.
But pissed. In America, we're pissed. We're angry. In England,
if you're an angry
drunk.
Yeah, you're drunk. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Tommy that bloke was pissed tonight. That's New Zealand.
That was very much not.
That was not.
I don't know what that was, but I'm sure getting pissed.
It was
tonight.
doing shoeies.
That's
your best Texan.
Yeah, it was.
It's not very big. You walk across it in 3 days.
And you do a shoey. All right.
Name that movie quote.
I didn't hear it.
Somebody got it. It's not very big. You can walk across it in 3 days.
I don't know.
Oh, Crocodile Dundee! Come on.
There you go.
Sounds like yeah.
All right.
Comment?
Oh boy, here we go. Okay, comment, go ahead.
Sorry about that. I just did it. It works great. Thanks,
Oh,
Mike.
well, okay, done.
You're welcome.
Wow. All right, Mike. There you go.
I don't know what
all
I
the
did,
credit
but
to
I'm
Mike.
happy to help.
The other
That
Mike.
was the real Mike, not the fake one.
The other Mike.
I'm keenly aware of that.
All right, let's take some control of this after chat. We're going to our friends on the YouTube. I'm going from the bottom up of the Frank list. Oh my gosh, be ready. Hang on to your butts. It's Dane, the portable ham, first. Are you there, Dane?
Oh, what's going on, everybody?
How's it going, man? What's up?
Oh, it's going, man. Got a video out that I was talking about. Had some work got in the way of a lot of stuff. We all know how that works. Got that failure video up. I got another video up coming up about... Oh, man, I can't remember what the other video is about. Well, it doesn't matter. But, yeah, got a couple videos out. But I'm doing well. A little under the weather today, which kind of sucks. But, hey, that's all I got.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. Saying hi to our YouTuber friends going up the list. It is Matt, KA2AUB's world. It's his entire world, everybody. We're just playing in it. Who... Are you there?
I am.
How's it going?
Hopefully, one way or another, I'm doing my first POTA tomorrow, so come hell or high water, I will be doing that. I've got everything set by the door, and I will be doing it.
By hook or by crook?
Other than that, yeah. And one way or another, I'm going to get some footage for a few antenna reviews of the stuff I've got in my little antenna farm that I've got here, and a couple other ideas that I've got. But other than that, hopefully getting a certain foot to heal up so I can do a hell of a lot more.
Right on. Very good. Appreciate you hanging out. All right, next.
Hang on.
Yes, sir.
Matt, you're doing your first POTA activation tomorrow?
Oh, I haven't subscribed.
Yes, I've been dragging my feet. I've been wanting to do it, and just between a few health issues and being too busy for my own good,
Explain yourself to me, or anyone.
I'm just doing my first one tomorrow. Dang it, one way or another.
There you go.
I just want to say congratulations and good luck. You are about to have a tremendous time in amateur radio. And just a warning, it is highly addictive.
It is.
Let me be the first to congratulate you on your first successful Parks on the Air activation. Do spot yourself. It helps. The bands have not been great lately. If you don't already download on your phone or your computer or whatever, either Hammers or Polo as a logging app. But good luck, and I hope you have fun. I know you will.
And you run the pile up. Do not let anyone else do it for you. You're the one calling CQ, not the other people.
That's right. All right.
Do it however you want.
Thanks, everybody. Yeah, I've come hell or high water. I'm going. I already have Polo, and I even scoped out the park I'm going to tonight. So.
And if you're not totally comfortable just getting on the air and working a pile up, do FT8.
Yep. Particularly if you're in Hawaii. All right, next is Mark Soda Plus, my buddy here in SoCal. How you doing, man? Are you there?
I am here. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, and I will reiterate, Mark is so if you watch the video for Field Day, my video, it is because of this man that the Field Day went so smoothly. It's his planning that everything that went off as smoothly as it did, a lot of super nerds that he brought to one location, and we had a glorious time. It was a fantastic weekend. So thank you again. I had a wonderful time, but how have you been, and what have you been up to?
Oh, thank you for the kind words, Josh. Having you there, being a workhorse was pretty awesome, because what people didn't see is after the camera stopped rolling, Josh rolled up his sleeves and was just absolutely cranking on the radio.
No, I wasn't.
That was great to have on the
No,
team.
I wasn't.
Oh, you were. I saw you mentoring people.
I was helping people. That is true.
You were helping a lot of people, and in my book, if you're getting people on the radio, that's getting the radios busy.
Well, thank you. You're very kind. Thank you.
It was very appreciated. Yeah. So this week we have two things going on the channel. One is Ara and I in 6ARA. We have been discussing the audio quality issue on our first two attempts at a podcast, and it wasn't unusable, but it wasn't as good as it could have been. So Umesh, KK6TXI, and I have spent the last couple days doing a deep dive into audio equipment. So we're going to be upgrading our studio, also known as my living room, to have some proper XLR dynamic mics and some decent preamps.
Very good. Yeah, I'm very excited to hear the. Yeah, go ahead.
I cannot promise that will improve the quality of the conversation.
It just takes time, man. The podcasting, it's a thing. It's a thing. But you and Ara vibe very well, so I'm very hopeful. I know you can do
it. Give us another year, and we'll have something you can be proud of.
Yeah,
so
keep going. Keep going.
The other thing that's kind of cool is I was dominating our channel's direction for the last month because we had field day, we had the Owens Valley Radio Observatory tour, which was phenomenal, and my lovely partner, bless her heart, supported me in all of that. And after field day, she said, I have 4 projects that I want to get done. Can I have the channel for the next month or two? So for the next month or two, it's going to be Dee's show.
It's the D zone.
And the first thing she's putting, it's the D zone.
It's the D zone. You got to use that. I love it.
It's the D zone. So for the next month or two, it's going to be her. And the first thing she's putting out is a video that is 10 minutes or less that's going to tell people how to do Morse code from scratch, which is incredibly ambitious.
Very ambitious. In 10 minutes? Yeah.
And it's already done.
Wow.
10 minutes and 35 seconds in the first cut.
Okay.
And
I like it.
It goes from not knowing anything all the way through a complete QSO by the 9 minute and 30-second mark.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'm excited. Dee is very methodical. I saw her process of making contacts. Everybody, when we shot that video, I saw multiple people that were commenting on her claw hold method that she uses for the notepad and then the key, and then she writes and keys, and she goes back and forth. It's very, very, very efficient.
Yeah, she has a whole system. So for anybody that says that it's impossible to learn in 10 minutes, I agree. That's clearly impossible. But counterpoint, at the Owens Valley trip, we took Angelina, who just got her extra license. She's 19. We went up to a summit together. And on the way to the summit, which was 1 hour of hiking, we took her from not knowing any Morse code to knowing the full alphabet. And she got her first Morse code contact on the summit that day after 1 hour.
Wow. That's fantastic. That's amazing.
Now, I was helping decode, but she held the key, she ran the radio, it was her call sign, it was her band. And not only that, it was a summit to summit.
Wow, very cool. That's awesome. Great work.
So for anybody who is thinking about Morse code, 1 hour with a friend is enough to do something really cool, and everything else is gravy. So that's going to be the video.
I like that. I think there's probably I don't know how to fix that yet. I think we should talk about that. How do we get like more people just doing Morse code, talking to each other? And maybe it's not on the radio, but I think we should probably do more of that too. I don't know. That's a really good. That might be the. We need more. By the way, if you think you're semi-competent on Morse code, you should definitely go to like Spots and Skeds on this Discord and like ask people looking for like a Morse code contact and like will you help me out? Will you talk with me? Go do that. Go do that on this Discord. It's literally designed to help that happen. So get on with that. So right on, man. Mark, it's great to hear from you.
There is a way that we're practicing, actually.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Ara in 6ARA, and I can plug his products because he's probably not listening right now. He came up with this thing called the Tiny MIDI, which plugs into an iPhone, and you can use your real Morse code key to get side tone out of a phone. And so one of the ways that Dee and I practice is we'll plug the tiny MIDI into my phone, and we'll sit around the breakfast or the dinner table, and we'll just pass the key back and forth, and we'll send each other messages.
I will say that I'm going to add to this. I'm going to add to this thought, Mark. I got 2 kids that my wife and we're talking crap about them all the time. And I love the idea of just setting up an oscillator on the table and just with a speaker, just keying out crap I'm going to say about my children to my wife. And then she laughs and they're like, what the hell are they saying about us? They're talking crap again about us.
Your kids would learn Morse codes
instantly,
so fast.
Instantly. If I start doing this, I think I have to do this. We were joking about this, but I think I have to make this happen. This is a fantastic idea. I love this.
You should get a tiny MIDI and just make it happen.
Yes, I'm gonna do this. And yes, totally.
All right, back to that. Thanks for the
I love it, man. That's so great. Good talking with you, buddy. Maybe we'll meet you at the headquarters next week. We probably have reasons to go hang out there next week, so I will see you there.
7-3.
7-3. All right, who's next on the list? Going up. It's Mark Boondock Echo. How's it going, man? Echo.
Hi, your Boondock Echo.
You did indeed. How's it going, man? What's going on with you?
I had a crazy week last week. One of my former clients asked me to come slot in for a week while a couple of their engineers went on vacation. So that was long days, long drives, and no air conditioning. But it was only a week, so I could handle it. And then we did a fire watch patrol last week with the fire department, the police, and our city was quiet, no fireworks. The only action we had going on were some cars illegally parked. It was fabulous. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the week before that and what's coming up next week. So the week before that, I did a few live streams, unannounced, impromptu, where I showed how I put together and designed a field portable inverted delta antenna. That makes use of the telescopic whips. And I'm particularly proud of the antenna clamp I designed. All the files are up there. At some point, I'm going to cut these videos down because I don't expect anybody to watch a 90-minute live stream of me building crap. I'll cut it down to like 2 or 3 minutes. But the files are there if anybody's interested. Go out there, make an antenna, and make contact. So I'm going to post those links right now.
Very good. Post them up, buddy. I appreciate that. All right.
And then this time next week, we should have a new website for Boondock Echo. We should be able to actually sell the items. I think we've got the legalities and the sales tax figured out, so we'll have some new ones up for sale straight from our store and no longer through Crowd Supply, because while we loved them, they refused to give us any customer information, claiming privacy. So we can't use them as a distributor if we don't know who we're selling to and how to contact them and how to get them set up. So we moved on. So that's what's going on.
Okay. All right, buddy. And good luck on the rest of the production there. We will move on to the next person. So Mike is both, it doesn't matter if you go from the bottom up or the top down. Mike with the center square, K8MRD. How are you doing? Ham Radio 2.
I feel the bottom up gets me on faster.
It's the same. It's the same distance. Same distance. It's up or down. There's 4 up, 4 down. Yep.
Oh.
You're literally center square.
Yeah, but here's the deal. If you go from the bottom, I don't have to follow Adam.
Oh, I see. Yeah, he's not here today. So you would have had a 5th one above you. And Adam is that's a lot. I appreciate that.
You can't follow that. He's just too good of a person and too smart. Yeah. And then you hear me and it's like, a pile of mud.
Well, you're much better than that. That is, you're selling yourself short, sir.
Nah, I'm not much better than that. A little disappointed we're not going to be 2 queens at Huntsville, but I'm glad you.
I've decided.
I'm glad you got your thing situated there.
Yeah.
How's it going, man? What are you up to?
I've just been so busy. Tomorrow I'm going to the Getty Museum, so I will be bringing. I'll be bringing radios. I'm going to see if I can do some CW in the courtyard.
What is the Getty Museum?
So John Paul Getty is industrialist kind of guy, made a bunch of money and decided to diversify as a tax shelter, basically, into amazing museum things, sculptures, paintings. He has multiple museums, and one of them is the Getty Center, which is off the 405 northwest of Los Angeles.
There's California.
It is one of the best museums you can go to.
You take the 405 to the 5,
you take the 405. You go past La Brea, and you're gonna take the 405 all the way up until you start getting to the mountains, and then you're gonna exit out for the Getty Center. Okay, it's gonna be off to the right, and it'll be right there. And you take a tram to the top. It's amazing. Get yourself a cold brew once you get up there because you might be a little parched. You know, like that whole thing. Yeah.
There you go.
Josh, you forgot about passing Koreatown. You know, half the important side of.
No, you're not even gonna see. You're not even gonna see Koreatown because you're gonna be on the 405 the whole way up. Like you don't even have to go that way.
You're going with the family, or?
Yeah. Well, Leia's coordinating it, so I'm just bringing radios and videos.
Okay. I mean, is that that's cool though? Leia's coordinating it. I just got to bring my radios, and that's how the Hawaii trip went.
Oh yeah. I she coordinates lot of things for me, and then I can radio around it and just miss some other things that they're doing. That's kind of the
benefit this time is you'll be in California.
So
you won't be so restricted out in Hawaii, dude. I watched those videos, man. That was like you and I were texting. I think
yes.
You were making one of them.
You literally, we tried to FaceTime, but the signal was so difficult we couldn't even make that work. Yeah, no, that happened. That was a thing.
That's right. You did try to FaceTime.
I did. I did.
I'm like, what is this? This must be important. And I hit accept, and it just died.
It died. Yeah, it wasn't. It was literally because I was just not getting signals out. Even on the phone, couldn't do it. It was really difficult.
No phone, no ham radio. All right. So, how did APRS work out there? If you're out in the wilderness and you can't get a cell phone signal, you can send a message over APRS. How'd that work for you?
So on the Big Island, APRS was functioning, but you had to be outside in a clear space to be able to get properly digipeated and I-gated. You can look me up, KI6NAZ-7.
But it was so what? You just had to go out on the beach and hold your radio?
No, I had to go outside at the hotel. Like I couldn't be inside to do it. But I will say,
had to go outside.
Yeah. On the Big Island, I can't comment on the other islands.
Yeah.
I don't know how the other island. Maui's probably fine. Oahu might be okay, but I don't know about Molokai and some of the other ones.
Well, you only know what your experience is, and that's all we're concerned about.
I'm commenting on land masses that they could put an antenna on. Like Maui has two very large land masses.
Don't overcomplicate it, Mr. Engineer.
Okay. All right. Well, I tried. So I did okay with APRS, but I will tell you that Meshtastic, all of the islands are meshed together in Meshtastic. They're all connected.
That's awesome.
They're all connected, and they're talking all throughout the day. It is better than even Southern California for Meshtastic. It's amazing.
I hope Eric isn't listening because he'll flip. Like, how far apart are the islands, and like, how big is the Big Island? I mean, is it like Rhode Island size? Like, in terms
it's bigger than Rhode Island.
What are we looking at? Okay,
it's got to be bigger than Rhode Island. Yeah, no, the Big Island is very big.
I mean, it's still a volcano in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, but
Mike, while he's doing that, you're lucky. I think oh wait, never mind. He is listening. He's just not in Discord. I was just about to say, I think he's in bed because he's like 10 different time zones away from Hawaii at this point.
Well, he's probably just waking up.
So everything is a puddle jump if you go between the islands. God damn, look at this website. Look at this website to answer my question. Toilet seats and batteries and
it's
everything.
Google
what
Maps,
the
Josh.
hell, dude? Yeah, well, no, you have to do Google Earth. So, okay, we'll Google. No,
you just go to Google Maps and just drop a pin here and drop a pin there. And
you got to Google Earth it to do that, man. Come on now.
You gotta over-engineer it there, Josh.
Yeah, you do. You do.
That's why we're such good friends.
I don't even know what Google Earth is doing right now. What is even happening? What is happening right now? What is happening?
Minecraft.
Like literally, is this?
Universe,
Did we
how
just
big is
build
the
a
Hawaiian
disaster
Island?
situation? My computer is lagging. What is happening?
That's what you get for opening Google Earth while live streaming.
What is happening?
What happens?
Why would you even Google Earth and just drop a pin on the big island, drop a pin on the next island?
What are we doing here? Where are we?
Miles away or whatever it is. Who cares?
And nothing like I'm the satellite I can click the little satellites. Look at the logo, the icon changes when I'm over it.
Are you sure you haven't hacked into like your works?
What is happening?
Josh,
this is what Josh does for a living. He goes to work and
I click on little satellites. That's what I do. I just click on little. I'm like, yes, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's very good. I click it. Yes, okay, click.
So while you're working that out.
Oh, it's gone now. It's gone. What is happening?
So Todd, Digital Dreamer in the chat. He lives on Oahu, Mike, and he's 140 miles from Maui and 280 from the Big Island. So there you go.
All right.
So
It's
literally,
a couple states away.
Literally, I am on a PC. I'm streaming on a PC. Every time you watch me like this, it is on a Windows computer. So just watch your mouth when you're talking to me. Yeah, go ahead.
Cones works for Windows, or he did. He has big affinity for Windows. He's a huge Windows guy.
Huge guy.
And unfortunately also someone I call a friend, because he's picking me up at the airport in Seattle.
What is happening? We're back to Central Park here. This is literally like in New York. This is like I think this is New York looking at the area I activated after the outside the is that, I don't think that's Wall Street because that's not where the trees are. I think this might be the court.
Is that the little security hut that you were told to not?
I think this might be close to the security hut I was activating. This is weird, guys. This is getting real weird. Let me tell you. And there's no controls on this. I can't do anything.
The next YouTuber.
This is weird. Yeah, it is the court, right? That's totally the court in New York. Yeah, that's right by the African Burial Memorial where I activated. This is weird. I just typed in Google Earth. This is crazy.
I just said Google Maps.
No, but Google Earth is what you use for doing directions. Again, it's going right back in there.
No.
Jesus.
No, a map will still get you directions. That's literally its sole purpose in life.
Can I just
generation? They don't know maps.
I can't get out of this. This is crazy. All right. Thank you.
So the people watching at home, like you're watching this, and it's hopefully entertaining for you. Imagine actually like being friends with this guy and having to put up with this behind the scenes.
Okay.
We'll
do it Mike's way. All right. So
holy hillbilly.
It's not Mike's way. It's literally everybody else's way.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think I did anything crazy here. So okay, let's find Hawaii. It's not that difficult.
This is just.
There it is. I found it. All right. So we're gonna go to the north. We're gonna do Mike's way. So what do? I do. All right. I dropped a location. Right
Josh,
click.
do you even know how to use the internet? I think
right click, measure location, draw the line to the other island, and you're done.
Okay, so there's the first one, and so we're going to Oahu, which is that's Kauai.
Just drop in the middle, man. You're just put it somewhere.
And then distance to here. It is 151 miles from the north tip of the Big Island to Oahu, like the Honolulu area, basically.
Yeah, that's. I can't even get to Dallas from here.
I mean, it's over water, though.
Doesn't matter.
Well, I don't think the exploder will get you there.
Then it's still a freaking mountain or a volcano.
I'm
sure Eric could talk about that.
So thank you, Liberty Cave.
That's what makes propagation so unique there.
It's true. Well, you're in almost the middle of the Pacific.
There.
Yeah.
Well, you have these land masses that are volcanic and mountainous, but then you also have the benefit of the salt water, and it seems like they're fighting each other.
You also have to factor in we have rainbow propagation.
Ooh.
Is it a reading rainbow?
No.
Jordy LaForge with the away team?
We've heard of meteor scatter and all that, but we have rainbow scatter, where just life is better.
Oh. Got it.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Is that just what you call trapoducting?
They're on How's It Bra
There
time.
is some of that. There's
You're not actually
there
talking
is some
about
of that.
scattering via rainbow, though.
No.
Okay, because that would be freaking sweet.
No, you could actually get. There's times when 2 meters is open to California.
That was not the time I was there. That was not the time I was there.
But no, I actually got 6 meter contact pointed towards Hayden, into Europe, like 18,000 miles away, like on voice from Oahu.
All right. Well, there you go, Mike. They're not that far apart, but at the same time, they are like you're not really swimming there, and you're probably not taking a boat most of the time. So most tourists take like little puddle jumper planes.
Yeah, I don't even know what the question was originally.
Somebody
something about mesh
ham radio.
It's a sandwich recipe.
Yeah, so the other thing that was kind of interesting is total landmass is comparable to New Jersey, Mike. So there you go.
Okay, that's great. But I think somebody said Meshtastic. You mentioned Meshtastic was really good there.
Yeah, all the islands are meshed. They're all meshed.
Yeah, that's how we went off in this whole like how far apart are they diatribe.
That's right.
So 150 miles between whatever those islands are, but there's many islands in between.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of hops. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I could talk to people on the Big Island and Maui from Oahu with my Sensicap T1000.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
I mean, it was like 4 hops, but it worked.
Know what?
Yeah, I do also find the comedy in that we just compared Hawaii, which is a tropical paradise, to New Jersey in the form of like places you want to visit.
I lived in New Jersey for 10 months.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
At least you got out.
It explains a lot.
I will say
You don't even know the beginning of it.
I don't know that we want to know the end of it.
Trust me, New Jersey did not frame me as a person.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you speak New Jersey. I don't think so. I know people from New Jersey. I know people, and I don't think you.
A very nice place to live.
Okay.
I was just outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
I met a lot of good people. It's a beautiful state.
You
just got to get used to the jug handles. I didn't go near New York City. I was outside all that garbage.
I'm sorry. You were staying in New Jersey outside of Philadelphia. So, are you in Camden?
In New Jersey.
If you were in Camden,
very close to Camden.
Holy crap! That's crazy. All right, that's newfound respect for Mike, dude. That's wild.
No, I feel I've said this before.
He could see Camden. He could see Campbell Fields from his house.
I lived in where was my address? My address was Marlton, I think. I worked in what the hell was the name of it? I don't know. You had to take you can get into New Jersey if you're in Philadelphia and you're on the freeway, and then you go into New Jersey. You can get into New Jersey for free.
What is that? That's the
but if you
Edison?
Go from New Jersey to
what's the bridge?
Philadelphia, you got to pay the toll. Over the Delaware River. I don't remember.
It's the Nickel Bridge.
I lived in Moorestown. I think Moorestown. Not Morristown. Moorestown. That's where I was working. And
are you saying it's free to go to New Jersey, but you have to pay to leave?
Yes. Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yes.
That's funny. I gotta say, snow cones.
A Pennsylvania Turnpike.
I gotta say, snow cones. You're not wrong. Like, there are many places in New Jersey I'd rather go to than downtown LA, but LA is such a big county that I don't think you can say that about the entire county structure of New Jersey. Like, it's not even close. There are plenty of spaces you don't want to go to either one.
Isn't LA County also about the same size as New Jersey?
It probably is. It probably is. That's even before you get to Long Beach, and Long Beach is even bigger, man. It's too difficult to claim that like they're all the same. There's no way. A lot of good people all over those places. There you go, Mike. Boy, do you want to talk anything about what you're gonna be doing on your channel, bud? Where are we going here?
So I don't have much. I filmed a video over the last 2 days. I just got back from Michigan. I was visiting family after not seeing them for 4.5 years after I moved to Texas.
Yeah, how'd that go? Yeah, you told me about that.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah,
it was
that's
great.
awesome.
And it turns out that my mom lives like 3 miles away from where my old radio club in Michigan was doing field day. Shout out November 8th, Sierra Lima, the South Lyon Area Amateur Radio Club in Michigan, South Lyon, Michigan.
Nice.
They were right down the street. And I'm like, dude, I got to go. Because my mom, when I left when I left Michigan, my mom moved. And I had no idea where she lived. Like I knew the city or the town she was in, but I'd never been there. 4.5 years, I haven't been back home. I haven't seen my mom. So I finally did. And it was good.
Yeah, that's nice.
And I had time with family. But then I also actually had more time with my my old club, which was great. Dude, that South Lyon Club is freaking amazing. The people there are just great. So
I love that.
It was great. It was great to, like, I kind of snuck away from home at night on Friday, and then like Saturday I couldn't go. Oh wait, hang on. Saturday we did go. We had a party at my mom's house Saturday. All my family came out. But then after it died down, my nephew was still there, and I'm like, "You want it?" Man, my nephew's smarter than all of us here. I'm like, "You want to go to the ham radio thing?" He's like, "Yeah." And anyone that has an all-star node, you've heard of like the Sherry node thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, N8AR, is a member of my club in Michigan. So he and I got to hang out, bunch of other people. And my nephew, Chase, wants to be a computer architect, something or other, he said. I can't remember. It's smarter than me. But he's like
software
super
architect.
Computer nerd, right? No, he was like chip. Like he wants to architect the motherboard, I think.
Oh, he's a double E guy. Okay, right on.
Whatever.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's right. Plus, he's a metal guarist and he has a 7-string guitar. So awesome. But so we went nerdery. So we went. Oh, he's total nerd. So we went to my club.
So that's okay. That's okay qualifying him. That's awesome.
Yeah. My nephew, and I have it on camera. I don't think I'll ever post it because he's 17. Made his first HF contact with the South Lyon Club for field day.
Nice.
On 40 meters. And the great thing is, like, because I brought him in there and I'm telling him stuff, but it's like, yeah, your uncle's telling you stuff. He started talking to other people and they started preaching the good word about ham radio. But then computers. So there's like 6 computer nerds all there programming their new Pi-Star, or not Pi-Star, but All-Star node things. And there's a new All-Star something or other. I don't know. But he just gravitated towards them, and they're all talking computer nerd stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I just let him go, and I went and did my own thing. And I came back. He's still talking about computer nerd stuff. So that's just so cool that I can bring my nephew there, and it's another testament to amateur radio is a hobby of 1,000 hobbies, and computer nerds obviously feel more at home than I do because I'm not a computer nerd. But holy crap, it was just so cool.
Hey, Mike.
That is true. I do feel that way. Go ahead.
Mike,
was going to say something? Yeah.
Mike, is this the rail fan nephew?
His brother.
Okay, I was gonna say if it's the rail fan nephew, give it another 6-8 months. You might see a license there.
Give him
a couple of years.
Give him a couple of months, and then give him an old chugga, and then wait to see if he gives you the choo choo. Okay.
Choose you. Probably some other YouTubers want to talk though.
I don't know, man. That was a good talk. It was good having you on. And thank you again for being on the live stream. You and Jason, KM4ACK.
That was great.
Who, I got to say, the FTX one has been a thing that we've been talking about. And I highly recommend, both Mike's videos and Jason's videos. In fact, I'm going to pull them up real fast.
What did I do?
No, I just want to give a shout out to KM4ACK too, because he was not here for the after chat, but he deserves a shout out. And he has a video coming out too again on the FTX, because we did get a big update on the FTX 1 firmware specifically for APRS. So Jason's got to be all over that. So I do highly recommend. I'm going to drop the link for him, please, and thank you. There you go. So make sure Mike, KMRD, Ham Radio Tube, and Jason, KM4ACK, at KM4ACK. Check him out. Please go subscribe to him. I think that this is Yesu catching up a little bit. The new patch that's out there is a lot better. It's improved a lot of things. I will drop a video on the whole process of the upgrade and then talking about the APRS and a number of other stuff. It's probably going to be Monday. I haven't decided if I'm going to drop it yet, because I think Jason 2.0 is going to be doing a live stream tomorrow. So if he's already covering all of it, then I'll just drop another video. But okay, we're gonna move on to the next guy. This is like the internal math that I do. So next is Tim Grayman Poda. How you doing, man?
Dude, I'm living a dream. How about yourself?
Living the dream. What kind of dream are you? Is it a nightmare? Is it the best possible life you can have? Like, what kind of dream are we talking about?
So the last couple of nights I've been messing around with the station controller that George has put together, and in true typical ham radio fashion, it's overly documented with not a whole lot. So it's a whole lot of getting my multimeter out, doing test readings and stuff like that. But getting it built, getting it going.
So that's a fun place. So do you have it up and running yet, or where are you at with the station controller? Because I have one too, and I had it up and running, but we're moving things around a little bit, so I'm changing things up.
So I've got the control back there. I've got an antenna switch on the wall. I've got another antenna switch on the bench, the GPIO module on the bench, and I've got a bunch of relays that I'm putting together right now.
Okay. I am pointing at I have your channel up right now, so we have a mystery box opening. So I would point everybody to check out the channel, because everybody loves a good mystery box. So make sure you go check out Grayman Poda. Anything you got coming up this week? What's going on, man?
I'll be live streaming here in about 7.5 hours. That's about it, and I'll probably have some videos out Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
I like it.
Nights, for the
I like the
preview
hustle.
here.
7.5 hours you're going to be up and live, man. Whew. Appreciate the hustle. That's good.
Showered and coffeeed up.
Showered and coffeed up. I like it. All right. Thank you, Tim. Next is Frank, Ham Radio and Outdoors. How's it going, man?
Oh, I'm going to have to change my YouTube name, aren't I, Josh?
Oh, Ham Radio Wilderness. Jesus. I know that's not that's not right. I was saying, I was like, that can't be right. Ham Radio Wilderness with Frank. I don't know. I screwed up that so badly. Thank you, Frank, for correcting me. No, well, thank you for being okay for me screwing it up, but thank you for correcting me, because that's not what I want to do. So what have you been up to, man? What's going on?
Well, I had my monthly Q&A yesterday live stream. It's now Fridays with Frank. So that's the first Friday of each month. This coming Friday, I have my CQ Chit Chat. It's going to be a very interesting topic. I'm going to have Tio, Jason, Ham Radio 2.0.
Oh.
Bill. And after Don, the last person after him has now left, looking at the list here, so you can scratch him off. And hopefully Mike, the Traveling Ham, on for a little fun discussion about HF on the go. So that's not the actual title of the video, the live stream, but that's what the topic's going to be. So it's going to be quite interesting. And I have a couple videos. I'm getting around to one finally. I have a mystery box, not like Tim's mystery box, but a different mystery box that I have to get opened up, filmed, and put together. It was a product review that, due to time and everything, it was supposed to be done in January, but we work on our own time unless you get paid for it, type thing. And yeah, so there's that. And I have a big mat sitting over here on the chair, all rolled up, from one quirky James that I'm going to use for it. So that's going to be featured as well.
That's the BAM. It's the big ass mat.
It's the big ass mat.
Yeah. So that's what's coming up for me. And Liberty Cave, AKLC, CQ Chit Chat is every other Friday, but I'm thinking of just dropping it to one Friday a month. We'll see what happens. That's some back-end planning that I have to do, though. So yeah, that's about it, Josh. Nothing new going on. Other than that, just having fun, kicking butt, taking names, and still not back to work yet. So you still get me hanging around.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate it. So that means next is Dawn, N5SKT. How you doing, man? Just for the sake of quirky QRP, you can't say the word MIMO. Okay. I just want you to know that. Oh, is he gone?
No, he's here and he's not muted. Dawn.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't pushing the button.
Oh.
I
You
was
just can't say
talking,
MIMO, man. You just can't say MIMO. James will lose his mind.
Fine. I bought 3 of the shirts, so I'm good now.
Oh. There you go.
3 different colors, yeah.
So what's going on, man? You are living everybody's dream with the low RF environment. Bring us along in the journey. What's going on?
So I think the last 2 videos I did were on John Gendron's phased array thing.
Yeah.
And I've got that bill. I finally have it actually deployed. In fact, I thought, let me see if I can do this. Just a second. Yeah, I dropped a picture in the whoops, I'm in the wrong chat now because I was replying to Aiden. So I can drop the picture after I talk. So I finally deployed the actual array.
Okay.
And what I did was Chuck KK6USY found these really fantastic umbrella stands, and I'm using those with a 3-foot Schedule 80 PVC.
Okay.
And I mount the whips on top of that so that I'm off the ground, and then I tune it for 20 meters, and then I use two tuned radials. So
just
two?
Just 2?
Yeah, just 2.
Okay.
And it tunes up perfectly. And I've got that phased, and I can really, really tell a difference. So
I hope so. I would hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. I worked a station in Argentina, which is, of course, it's one of the banes of being where I'm at in Texas, is that, you get South America and you can hear them way more than you can hear Europe.
Okay.
So anyway, I was pointing at him and I worked him, and he was literally 9 over. And when I flipped that thing over, he disappeared, which I didn't expect that. I thought he would drop down to an S2 or something. he disappeared.
Wow.
And then I flipped it back. He's back again. And I was really shocked with that. I worked several stations where I would flip it one direction. They're a minus, again with FT8, a minus 15.
Yeah.
And then, you flip it towards the north, and all of a sudden they're a, 2, or a minus 2.
So
Yeah,
what's the orientation of the array? Is it west facing or east facing, or sorry, you already probably said it, but how do you have it configured?
Oh, Josh, we lost you on Discord.
Hello.
It's all part of my evil plan.
You can't hear me?
He did.
Oh, all right. I don't know if you're still
now
here.
You're back. Now you're back.
Oh, I'm back.
Yeah.
Am I back?
Yeah,
you're back.
You
That's weird.
went digital as if it dropped off and then disappeared completely.
Okay. So everybody
But
on
fine on YouTube.
YouTube says I'm okay, so we're gonna keep going. So Don, you probably already mentioned it. What's the orientation of the antenna array? Like if it was pointing in one direction
North-south.
for the north-south. So you're trying to aim south, or
No,
you're aiming
well,
north?
So the phased array can be switched from north to south.
But that's your alignment is north-south.
Right.
Why'd you go that way?
Well, I want to point at Europe. Now, I'm not pointing directly north.
Yeah, you're going
It's more northeast.
Northeast. Yeah. Okay.
Right. And then, but when you point south, you're going to get, South America.
Yeah.
And I actually need to shift. If you look at the picture, and I don't, but anyway, if you look at the picture, you'll see that there's like two bushy type trees that are there. And one of the antennas, I was measuring out 17 foot thinking it was a lot further than it is. And it just ends up perfectly between those two trees. And so I can't really push it much more further to the east. Although tomorrow I'm really going to move it over to on the other side of that one tree you're seeing, so that I'm pointing more towards the northeast. That right there is a 20 meter. And I had said, okay, well, look, I'm going to, put this together. And then if I find that it works really well, then I'll go ahead and get the 40 meter. And I'll literally run them both. I mean,
Okay.
So in other words, I've got the 20, I'm going to go ahead and do the 40. But I'm really happy with the way that this came out and the fact that I'm using the 17-foot chameleon whips, and it should be really portable. The radials are held up by those electric fence posts, and it's just it's really dead easy to move. So I'm really happy with it. And John's going to talk to me. He said he wanted to have a Zoom call, me and another person that have got theirs up, and just go over what we like, what we don't like, I guess. I think that's what he's wanting to do.
Right
on. So I thought I'd hold off on the next video where I'm going to go over exactly how this is laid out, what you actually see in the picture. So you don't have to just look at a picture. I can, actually go and video the thing and show you how the cables are laid and, all of that kind of stuff, and how I've got the antennas perched. I've also got some spikes, so I can go to the spikes with the radials. But the thing about that, when you look at that, you're going to be taking these big bundles of radials, and I thought that it would be easier just to have two radials rather than 16, 17, and it's seemed to be working really well. I know it tunes really well, and John was very clear in the documentation and when I've talked to him that you're really looking at the resistance, and when you're looking at the SWR, you're really not looking at, okay, is it 1-to-1, but you're trying to get close to that. You want both of them to, like on this case, I ended up with a resistance of 55 or 52.
Don.
And so they're both.
Don. Everything you're saying right now is best for a video.
I'm sorry. You're right. You're absolutely correct.
these are all secret knowledge things that you should share on your video. I think people will like that. Go subscribe to Dawn N5SKT. I think that is like, go watch all this progression. Because a phased array is a real serious antenna setup, and it's not difficult to do. Dawn, go ahead. You had something to add?
Well, I just wanted to see if you'd mind if I spoke a short bit about Field Day.
It better not be about MIMO. I swear to God, it better not be about. I'm just kidding.
No,
go ahead, please. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
No, so I coordinated Field Day for the club here, and so I just had a blast.
Good.
And we had two girls that were there. That were, one's 14, the other one's 17, and they did our CW for us. And I mean, man, those girls, they're pilots. They can fly drones and record footage and put it on YouTube. So
that's awesome.
107A. They're also expert marksmen, and I mean that in the way that they are top ranked in the state of Texas in sharpshooting, and they have AR-15s and you name it. They have all kinds of guns. They weld. They rebuild motors. Their dad was like, and it wasn't just their dad, by the way. There were a number of the people that are
community
in the club, that know exactly that the girls are doing these things, and I couldn't believe, like, at that age they've gotten into that many different things.
That's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah.
How what were you operating at? What was your category you're running on?
3 Alpha.
3 Alpha.
Which, yeah. I talked them into 3 Alpha. They only wanted to run 1 Alpha because they said, well, nobody's going to operate. We're just going to go there and visit. All 3 of those stations were busy the whole time.
That's awesome. Good for you, Don. Good for you. That's right. Yeah, push it a little bit. Like, get more bands on the air. That's awesome.
Right, and we ran 24/7 too.
That's excellent.
Or, I mean, the whole time.
Excellent. Good job. All right. Well, Don, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And go check him out, N5SKT. He's got some good stuff coming, including the phased array vertical, which we're all waiting to see how that goes. So I think we might have gone to the end of the list.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there any like follow-on questions? Anybody that's been waiting this whole time to get their question in? Ham radio question and anything else otherwise? Love to hear it now. Would love to get you in there if we can.
Comment?
I will say that we had a number of homework assignments from people that did not come back, and so I need you to come back, and I want to hear the result of chasing down those issues. But Mark, go ahead, Mark.
3D print in progress. So thank you guys. This is the simplest solution. You rock.
I literally am printing right now. It's a 16-hour print for a vegetable turner thing that the water hits a nozzle that like high-speed jets into a circular thing for spinning vegetables around. And I'm doing that for my wife right now.
Salad spinner.
Yeah, basically it's a water salad spinner. That's what we're doing right now for my wife. My wife.
Nice.
So yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I'm wrapping up. So if you got something to say, go ahead.
Well, I'm not going to dive into this too deep because I'm sure everybody wants to talk about it later, and it's going to be a deep dive of its own.
Oh.
Who here has heard about TRIP and NTO?
We should talk about that, actually. So we had an individual that passed away doing Parks on the Air.
Oh, yeah.
And what it sounds like is that he extended his antenna and then brought it up and into a power high enough power line to kill him. He died.
The way I understood it, he was taking it down.
Oh, was that what you heard? He was taking it down, and then he hit the power line.
I've been inundated with a few emails.
I have not got a lot of emails, so that you might have more information than me.
I'm going to cite Thomas Witherspoon's email because that's what I read this morning when I was doing my daily ablutions. I believe it said he was taking it down.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Putting it up, taking it down, either way, it happened.
I want to remind everybody that if it's an antenna, a properly working antenna, and you are in close proximity of power lines, you need to move far away from them such that if the antenna were to fall over, it can't hit power lines. It doesn't matter where you're at. You have to make sure you're safe. You cannot be in a situation where you will touch a power pole by just slapping it over and then cause a situation. We don't want any of you to be harmed. It's a horrible situation. Thoughts go out to the family of the ham that was lost. That's a horrible loss to the community.
Right.
But honestly, like we got to be safe. We really do have to be safe when we're doing this. And it doesn't take a lot. It just means you may have to get away further from your vehicle or whatever to make a safe antenna setup, but you absolutely have to do it.
And if I'm just going to say this as a POTA guy myself, and I'm sure Mike and others will echo it. If you're going to a park for the first time, don't just start setting up. Scope out the area you're going to activate in and make sure that you are being 100% safe. Like the old saying, measure twice, cut once. Same thing with this. Check things out ahead of time. Yeah, look up.
Yeah. Yeah, this. Go ahead. Someone gonna say add? Yeah, Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think attention to detail is super important. Like paying attention, looking up. Unfortunately, if you look up the park that he was in, he wasn't even in the park. So, like attention to detail on every level is like it starts from reading the park information. Like, make sure you're in the right spot. Make sure you're not under power lines. Make sure you're not in standing water.
Was that cemetery not in the park?
No. It says on the thing, there are other locations within the Abbotsboro signs.
What is the thing?
Oh, the POTA page for the park. So US 11375. It says this park is not part of the museum nor the cemetery.
Oh.
So unfortunately, yeah, he wasn't even in the park he was activating. So
Yeah, that sucks, but sometimes you just look at the POTA map and you see it and you think, hey, I'm in it.
Yeah,
it can happen.
But that's one of those things
you gotta
where
give every benefit to any doubt. The guy thought he was in that park. He was in,
Sure.
And that's
But my
kind of along
point
the rules of POTA. But yeah, just look around. Yeah.
My point is more of attention to detail. Would have, not just the power lines, but had he read the note about the park, he would have been in the right spot and still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of good info on some of those pages that say, hey, you can set up here. This is a good spot. This is not a good spot. So, like, just reading the info and finding out the info, because a lot of people will, reach out to their mapping people and try and get good info into the park page.
So, like one of my most favorite YouTubers that I watched, it's not ham radio related. Her thing is, if she doesn't have the answer, do your research. Just do your research. Make as Eric said, look at the map. Make sure, because the pin on the POTA page is not always going to be in the park. It's just the guidelines.
I'll tell you what. There are many times I've gone out to a park with zero knowledge, or a summit for that matter.
Yeah.
And the reality of it is, I don't set up in a dangerous situation, period. Like if I'm around a power line, I'm not doing it. Like I will move my station. It's not even going to be a part of it, because honestly, that could be detrimental to your activation to begin with because of the RFI and everything else that goes into it. So I'm already going to try and flee away from that kind of stuff. I want a purely freestanding situation. So this is taking nothing away from this individual. This is a horrible situation. I don't know the details that went into this. I wish the family the best, but this is a horrible, horrible story. Horrible story. But always remember that you have to protect yourself when you're, like, it's literally, we're putting wires up in the air. Like, yes, there is a chance that you could end up getting into dangerous situations, and you have to be careful of that.
There's a reason it's covered extensively in the technician exam.
It is, yeah, and general
wires.
and extra and all of them. Yeah,
But, I don't say that to disparage this hand.
No.
Apparently he
not at all.
was very active in POTA. I checked my logs. Unfortunately, I'd never worked the guy, but he seemed to be a pretty seasoned hunter and activator. And give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Something happened. Like mistakes were made.
So what you said there, Mike, about the exam.
Yeah.
What you said there about the exam, I think a lot of people are pushing the just memorize the test and then learn later. I think this is a perfect thing to highlight. Don't memorize the test. Like, learn the material that they're asking you to learn.
I feel if you read the question, should you put an antenna near a power line or away from the power line? Like, I feel that's kind of how basic the question is. In the tech exam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're putting wires up. Don't put them near power lines. Don't put any vertical things up. If they fall, which is why my VHF antenna is not higher, because if it fell, it would hit the power lines.
Yeah. Well, in a lot of places too, like a lot of states will have, if you have a tower or a mast, if it falls over, it needs to fall within your own property. So
that's a totally separate issue. Property is irrelevant.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is,
where your antenna is, and if it's going to fall, is it going to fall into a power line? And then others have chimed in.
There it is.
Power lines they can be hidden. I use 26 gauge wire, and it's yellow, and it's hard to see. So if you're using black wire in the trees with a black antenna and a black carbon fiber mast, like, it is very possible that you just don't see the wires.
Yep.
So I will say,
I'm not putting any blame on this activity.
No, I'm gonna hold on. I gotta wrap up. I gotta wrap up. Mike, go ahead. Then I'm gonna wrap up. I gotta get out of here. You guys can hang out, but I gotta go.
I was just gonna say it's a horrible accident. I'm confident this guy knew what he was doing.
And I have two things after
Wait.
done.
That's it.
Okay, Mike, go ahead.
What I was going to say, I made a comment. I'm pointing it out here. From the pictures that I saw on the page, it looks like he was in it was like residential power pole area. And I know sometimes, don't be near power lines, but the thing you have to keep in mind is the 3 parallel wires at the top are your distribution power. And those are usually running at about 12 to 20 kV. You don't want to be you legit do not want to be anywhere near that. I'm talking
he should not have
feet away.
Yeah, he should not.
No. I'm just saying from the safety standpoint, like sometimes you may think that you're far enough away, it'll tip down, whatever. Depending on weather conditions or whatever, if you're within 15, 20 feet, that'd be enough for an arc to occur.
Oh, so I see. An arc situation. Gotcha.
Yeah, not direct contact. Like if you're within the area and you have a good path of ground, that's all it takes.
That's a really good point, Mike. That's a really good point. So it's not even where the thing falls. It's like, just don't be anywhere near it. Don't be anywhere near
just avoid it. Yeah,
just avoid all of that.
Away from it.
And
to
Josh,
that point
I want
as well, the comms lines run under power lines, and they can also arc the same way.
Yeah, I mean, they're much lower power.
Josh, I know you got to get out of here, and
yes.
I want to leave it on this one.
I do.
I have worked that operator. He knew what he was doing. This was a sad and tragic accident, and as has been said before, and probably will have to be said again, there is the general rule, besides what Mike and 8YO just said, there is general rule. Anything you put in the air, if it falls, you want to be at least a 10-foot falling radius from any sort of line in the air, whether it's power, cable, whatever. You want to be at least 10 feet from that. So, don't set up in a 20-foot radius of those lines. But
I'm gonna repeat.
It was sad.
Thank you, Frank. I'm gonna repeat what Mike just said. That 10 feet isn't even enough. Like, you need to not be anywhere in the proximity. Just don't even even 20 feet.
He's talking about high power lines.
Okay, all right. I'm not trying to clarify. Like the wooden poles can run 3-line.
Stay the
hell
away from power lines. That's what I was talking about.
He's talking
Mike,
about
that's
the
what I was
3-line
talking
feeders
about.
on wooden
I'm
lines,
talking
not
about
high
your
tension lines.
residential-
Yeah.
So your standard house supply transformer is taking that 12, 15, 20 kV and knocking it down to 2-phase 120 or
Yeah.
whatever,
All right.
240 coming into the house.
I have to go. Everybody, please have a great, safe rest of your weekend. This is our 4th of July weekend. If you got a tomorrow that you can go out and do some radio, you should do it. Get on the air. Parks on the Air is going to be great. Do it safely. Put your station in the appropriate location where you'll never be in a situation of danger. I will be operating from the Getty Center tomorrow, but I will likely be just chasing POTUS and sodas that I can hear on the air. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
With the podcast.
Yes, we're gonna wrap up and go do the podcast right now. So I gotta go. Love you, everybody. 73. Thank you to everybody on the Discord. Take it easy. See ya.
Just remind the single queen bed.
I'm gonna be a single queen. I'm gonna be a single queen with maybe my other queen, my proper queen with me. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry.
You just gotta let Leia know she's sleeping on the couch.
Okay, I'll let her know.
I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I cut him off too soon. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. Everybody, thank you very much for watching. I literally have to run to the restroom and also do the after chat, or not the after chat, the podcast. 73. See ya. What are you doing? What's up?
Watch the episode of Cowboy Bebop.
No, it's podcast. Podcast night.
Don't know about that one.
Go. You're wearing your kung fu. Go take your kung fu shirt off.
I'm not.
Okay, bye.